The Carter Cowboys have survived and are here today. The Permian Panthers have made the semifinals 4 of the last 5 years. The Carter Cowboys have been this far only twice in the school's history. A trip to the state finals awaits the winner, Permian and Dallas Carter, up next from Austin.
From spectacular Memorial Stadium in Austin, Texas, it's the Texas Class 5A semifinals in high school football as the Odessa Permian Panthers take on the Dallas Carter Cowboys. And today's game is being brought to you by Women's and Children's Hospital, Elmore Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Big Spring, Hollander Chiropractic, Furs Supermarkets, your Texas Lincoln Mercury dealers, and Diamond Shamrock. Kurt Kaiser along with Don Scott from Memorial Stadium. And Don, we're just moments away from the start of the 88 semifinals.
All right, Kurt, and this is going to be, I think, a whale of a football game. You have two very well coached, very well disciplined ball clubs out here this afternoon. When you get to the Final Four in 5A football in the state of Texas, there are no weak teams. It should be a very, very good matchup. The two teams, on paper at least, match up very well against each other.
You see the Panther players just about ready to come through the banner at the far side of Memorial Stadium, the finest team in Texas, and the crowd, when they saw that, gave a great cheer, which they've been doing throughout the entire pregame. For about the last hour and a half, these Permian fans, of which there are several thousand of them, have been warming themselves up by getting ready for this ball game in not the most ideal conditions. We've talked about the weather conditions leading up to the game and folks just leaving Odessa to come here. The weather here today, cold, wet, and a little uncomfortable, but any weather when you're playing a semifinal football game is great weather.
And here are the captains ready to go out to the center of the field, Kurt, to toss the coin, find out who's going to receive, who's going to kick off. Wind does not appear to be any major factor at all today. The field is so much better now than it was when we first arrived here at the stadium early this morning that it's unbelievable. It has dried out a great deal. There's still a strip of wet along both sidelines and down toward the corners of the end zone, but basically the field has dried out tremendously. It is, however, still wet. When you walk on it, there's moisture coming up out of the field.
The captains now meeting at the center of the field. The Panthers represented by Ivory Christian, Brian Chavez, and Mike Winchell. The captains for Dallas Carter, Chris Calhoun, one of the linebackers, Robert Hall, quarterback, and Mr. Everything All-American, Jesse Armstead, another one of the linebackers for the Dallas Carter Cowboys. The last 2 weeks, Permian has kicked off to start the ball game. Their defense has caused a turnover on the very first play from scrimmage. We'll see if they'll kick off or receive as they get ready to face the Cowboys here this afternoon.
Okay, colorful crowd on hand, and it's tough to estimate the crowd in a stadium this large, but there is a large number of Odessa fans on the west side directly underneath us, and a very large contingent of Dallas Carter fans on the far side. So it should be interesting. Carter will receive, Permian will be kicking off. That follows the standard they've met for the last 2 weeks, at least for Odessa Permian.
So the Panther captains return to their teammates, and in just a moment, Permian will come onto the field at Memorial Stadium. The Panthers arrived in Austin yesterday afternoon, had a brief workout on Memorial Stadium about an hour yesterday, and then coming back this afternoon for the 2 o'clock date with the Cowboys.
Kurt, I'm sure you have to call this a date, but I'm not sure what kind of date it is. It's not one that I'd want to pick up because it's going to be, I feel like, a defensive war, and the thing that's going to win the ball game, or whoever wins it, is going to be their defense.
And here come the Panthers. Permian comes into this ball game with a record of 12-2 last week, defeating Arlington Lamar. The Carter Cowboys, a record of 12-0-1 last week, beating Marshall, coming from behind and scoring the game-winning touchdown with just 3 seconds to go on a pass to Jesse Armstead, who we mentioned a moment ago was a key member of the team, All-American Jesse Armstead, a linebacker, but they put him in at tight end. He caught the pass, and that's why the Cowboys are here this afternoon. Permian ready to kick off, and to do the kicking, it will be Robert Brown. Panthers have had Robert Brown in there. They've also had Felipe Davila, who has been kicking. We'll see if the Panthers will open up with a squib kick on this wet turf and try to get some early momentum. Usually when Robert Brown is in, that's something they like to do.
All right, the one thing that features, of course, the Carter squad is excellent team speed, and that's what the Permian Panthers are going to have to contend with. Not any one particular person that's the speed burner, but the whole team has great speed.
The 1988 semifinals are underway, and there is that squib. It'll be taken by the Cowboys. Well, not yet. Inside the 20, hit and down inside the 15-yard line. That was Brian Mitchell that got the ball, and the Panthers were right there to fall on Brian Mitchell. And Carter will start from their own 15.
They had some trouble corralling this ball, and by the time they had finally got a hold of it, the defensive cover team was downfield, and very good play by special teams for the Permian Panthers to start the ball game.
So Carter will start 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Robert Hall will open up at quarterback. Harvey Harper and Anthony Allen in his backfield. Man in motion is Marcus Grant. Hall to throw, completed. As he completes it to Anthony Allen, and Allen will take it across the 20-yard line. Connie Dean brings him down. The Cowboys opening up through the air on the completion from Hall to Allen.
Bringing out for about a 9-yard gain on that play. It looked like he comes out to about the 20-yard line. The first down marker's just on the other side. Call it 9 yards. Excellent fake there, and an excellent job of throwing and catching.
So
Scotty Dean had to hustle hard to get out in time to catch him at all.
The streak of Permian opening with a turnover on the first play is over after 2 straight playoff games. 2nd and less than a yard to go for the Cowboys. Receivers wide right and wide left. Hall looks to throw, and the delay. He is caught. Harvey Harper went down on a big play from Felipe Davila.
Davila comes clean on this play and comes right through the middle, and he was fooled by nothing. He absolutely took the ball carrier and threw him to the turf, really coming in there hard, head-on collision before the ball carrier ever had a chance to get the ball.
So a loss on the play, taking the ball back inside the 20-yard line. We'll call it 3rd and a long 5 to go for the Cowboys. 10.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, the first offensive series for Carter. Hall fakes a handoff, looks to throw. It is incomplete. Thrown well in front of the intended receiver, Dietrich Clark. And the Permian defense on their first series has held.
Brian Johnson did a great job that time of putting quarterback pressure on Robert Hall, and that's what caused the problem for him. Watch him coming from the outside, number 44. He's right, and he comes right at him as he's throwing the ball, and that makes it difficult to throw over.
Back to receive for the Panthers, Lloyd Hill, Stan Wilkins, and Robert Brown. The kick will be taken by Wilkins in Carter territory. Wilkins at the 40 will be brought down. So the Panthers will have good field position to begin their first offensive series as Wilkins makes an 8-yard return.
Wilkins bringing the ball back very well, took the ball and ran it straight back down to the south end goal line, or toward the south end goal line, sets the ball up inside the 40. It's almost on the 40-yard line, just inside.
1st and 10 Panthers. Mike Winchell has Comer and Billingsley in his backfield. Brown to the right, Hill to the left. He looks to throw, and it is incomplete. Underthrown as a pass was intended for Lloyd Hill on the far side of the field.
Winchell threw that ball before he really had control of the snap that time and threw it in the dirt. He was trying to get out a very quick toss to Lloyd Hill.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. Clock will stop with 10:16 to go in the first quarter. As Villa and Hill come to the right side now, Chavez is tight on the left. Billingsley in motion as the flip comes left side to Chris Comer. Comer will take it inside the 40-yard line. a quick pickup of 2, maybe 3 yards. They tried the outside. It'll be 3rd and long for Permian.
Great team defense that time by Carter as they flow very well to the outside and plug it up in a hurry out there. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Carter players in on that tackle, and they were there in a hurry. Team speed, of course, is a crucial thing. And on this Carter defense, they claim there's no one out there that doesn't run at least a 4.6 40.
3 yards for Comer. It's 3rd and 7. Brown to the right side. That's Lloyd Hill in motion. Winchell sprints back to throw. Being pressured, gets the pass away. It is incomplete. Robert Brown could not come up with a spectacular grab inside the 30. Back to defend, Lachey Matson for the Cowboys, and Permian will be stopped on their first offensive series.
Well, at least it's starting out as we had billed the game as a defensive struggle. Robert Brown had a great chance at that ball that time, but just couldn't quite contain it. There was a good defensive cover that time by Matson.
So Carter 5 yards on their first offensive series. Permian 3 yards on their first offensive series. 9.5 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Travis West pressured but gets the kick away. High spiral will go into the end zone. Bounces at the 3-yard line. After the Cowboys, Marcus Grant let it go into the end zone. So the Cowboys, their second series will begin from the 20-yard line with 9 minutes and 24 seconds left in the first quarter of play.
Kurt, defensive football is not as entertaining perhaps for some fans as the offensive game where a lot of points are scored, but I think we're going to have a titanic defensive struggle. You need to be watching the line of scrimmage to see who's going to dominate there.
Greg Hall goes wide to the right side. 2 men are split to the right as Robert Hall looks to throw across the middle, incomplete. The pass was intended that time for Marcus Grant. Grant, the leading receiver for the Cowboys, comes in with 53 receptions, 907 yards, 17.1 per grab, and that one just thrown too far in front of him.
Billy Steen was putting pressure on the quarterback that time as he came right up through the middle, and that's where the Permian rush seems to be making penetration. First Felipe Davila and now Billy Steen, both coming in from the 2 technique positions inside to put pressure on the quarterback.
And both offenses seem to feel like throwing the ball will be the way they will have the most success, although neither has moved the ball yet. Grant goes wide to the right side. Dedrick Clark to the left. Robert Hall has a 2nd and 10 in front of him. And time had expired for Carter. The flag will come out. Too much time, delay of game against the Cowboys.
That's a mistake that I'm sure the Carter coach is not very glad to see, but it's understandable. It's early in the ball game. Both ball clubs are very nervous as they simply are saying, hey, folks, this is a big one. They both know that for the loser, it's basketball time. For the winner, there's the state championship game next weekend.
2nd and 15 now for Hall and the Carter offense. 9:20 to go in the first quarter. Hall hands it off, keeping it on the ground to Harvey Harper. Harper is hit hard as he gets to the 15. Steve Womack making the big play on Harvey Harper.
Felipe Davila there very quickly to help, along with Chad Payne, Ivory Christian. Team defense, once again, flowing to the ball very well.
So ball out to the 17-yard line where it'll be 3rd and 13 for the Cowboys as the clock runs under the 9-minute mark. Carter starting the drive from the 20. The penalty pushed them back to the 15. Now they're at the 17-yard line. As Robert Hall has 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left is Dedrick Clark. Out of the shotgun. They keep it on the ground. And Harvey Harper will be stopped. Ivory Christian made the hit. And the Permian defense has stopped the Cowboys for the 2nd time today.
Cowboys coming out in a spread defense or spread offense that time, looking like they're going to throw the ball and then tried to run a little inside reverse play. But Ivory Christian stayed home, took care of business, and there was no place to go, setting up 4th and 10.
So Carter getting the ball to the 21-yard line. It'll be 4th and 9. Forced to punt, but flags will fly before the play gets underway. And apparently going against Permian. At least the Carter players are clapping about it.
Now there's a discussion going on, and doesn't do often very well to discussed things with the men in the striped shirts. They've pretty well identified what the problem is and are going to do what they said they were going to do.
Still fourth down, though, now 4th and 4. And there is the kick by the Cowboys' Harold Jones. It'll be taken by Lloyd Hill at the 35. Hill back to the 40. Hill still on his feet to the 43-yard line.
Good high punt that time. Took a while to get it down, and the coverage team was downfield very quickly and did a very good job of stopping them. Number 48 for the Carter Cowboys was the first man to make contact down there.
So the Panthers will start from their own 43-yard line. The first drive from Permian starting from the 40. They're the Carter 40. They gain just 3 yards. Receivers wide right, wide left. That's Hill to the right, Brown left. Winchell looking for Lloyd Hill. It will be overthrown and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Back to cover that time, deep for the Cowboys. It was Clifton Abraham.
Lloyd Hill trying to run his fade pattern that time. The ball is simply thrown too far to the outside as he has no chance at the ball.
As they're running back to the huddle, you saw Lloyd Hill along with Jesse Armstead, the All-American linebacker, who looked like he was talking with Lloyd, probably just saying, what do you think of the weather? If you enjoyed your stay in Austin, things like that.
Right.
2nd and 10 for Permian. Winchell up the middle to Comer. Comer going straight ahead. Will take it across the 45. Good strong running by Comer, picking up about 4 yards, so it'll still be 3rd and long for Permian.
Didn't catch the number of the Carter defensive player that made the hit. Let's see if we can get it on the replay. Number 46, and that is Armstead once again. There's a young man deep on one play in pass coverage. The next time he's up in the line of scrimmage, stopping a play coming up the middle.
A 5-yard pickup out to the 48 will make it 3rd and 5 for Permian. Winchell to throw, and it is incomplete. Pass was intended for Lloyd Hill.
And Mr. Winchell got a real taste of the Memorial Stadium turf that time as he was pounded into the turf right after he let go of the football and went down real hard. Armstead once again out there making a defensive play at the ball. I can understand why he is rated as an All-American. Does a great job of moving on the football field.
Travis West back to kick it away for Permian. He'll get the kick away from around his own 40-yard line. West pressured, but does get the kick away, end over end. Will bounce inside the 30, take a Permian roll inside the 20, and go out of bounds at the 14-yard line. So a nice roll for the Panthers.
Excellent roll on the punt. It didn't look like much of a punt when it came off of his foot, but it did a great job. Pins Carter back deep again. So far, this ball game has been played in Carter's end of the football field.
The Cowboys have had 3 drives. Their first one starting at the 15, the second one at the 20, and their third starting from the 14-yard line. 7 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the first quarter with no score. In fact, no first downs in the game yet. Robert Hall as receiver to the right, and he goes back to throw. Looking right now up the middle, and it is completed. The Cowboys have a first down as the pass was completed to Greg Hill. Or Greg Hall. Well, let's make it Greg Hill. It is Hill.
Greg Hall or Hill. Hill it is, I
It's
believe.
Hill. It's
Greg
Hill.
Hill is wide open down the middle of the Permian zone defense. They also had another receiver wide open out here on this side. The Carter line that time giving quarterback Robert Hall plenty of time to throw the football.
23-yard completion on Hall to Hill, and the Cowboys on the move at their own 37-yard line. Pitch comes back to Harper. Harper going right side. Finally be brought down as he takes it across the 35. Ivory Christian made the hit along with Cotty Dean.
Ivory Christian, the unheralded middle linebacker for the Permian Panthers, playing his typical great football game. He reacted almost instantaneously to that play and is very well out to the outside before the play can really get started.
6:10 and counting down left in the first quarter. A 1-yard pickup on the play will make it 2nd and 9. Ball to the 38. To the left, it is Dedrick Clark. 3 receivers on the right side of the field with 1 man in the backfield. And that 1 man, Harper gets it, looks to throw, puts it in the air, and it is incomplete. knocked away by Cotty Dean, almost picked off by Cotty Dean, as the pass was intended for David Jones.
Something coming out of the bag of the tricks here for the Carter Cowboys. They try the halfback pass. Ball not really well thrown, and the coverage was very tight there. Cotty Dean almost got it on the rebound.
Instead, that was Marcus Grant the pass was intended to. Couldn't quite come up with it on a good defensive play by Cotty Dean. 3rd and 9. Clock stopped with 5:53 to go in the first quarter. The Cowboys' best drive on one pass play. Again, there's 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Harper in the backfield. Harper has it again. He'll try to throw again. Pressure, gets it away, completed. And that is Robert Hall that beats one tackle and goes into Permian territory and has a first down.
Another trick play coming out of the book for the Carter Cowboys as the quarterback flips the ball back and then becomes the receiver himself. He flips it back and then squirrels out here. Most defenses, there's no one really designated to cover the quarterback on that type of play. If the Permian Panthers had made that tackle right there, they would have stopped him short of the first down. But they missed the tackle, they've got the first down, and a drive moving the ball.
1st and 10 Carter at the Permian 43-yard line. The first time they've been in Panther territory, keeping it on the ground that time.
Billy Steen in there, first man to make the hit on the ball carrier.
That was Brian Mitchell that you see now making the carry. So the Cowboys on first down, picking up 3, making it 2nd and 7. The ball down to the Permian 40-yard line. Darius Smith, the center for Carter, all 260 pounds of him, ready to give the ball back to Robert Hall. Receiver wide right, backs are split. Hall looks back to throw. Hall gets it away, and it is incomplete as it goes out of bounds. The pass was intended for Dedrick Clark.
And that time, just as Hall was throwing the ball, he was hit from behind by someone coming in that backside. I believe it was Steve Womack, but I'm not sure. No, it's Billy Steen that comes in from behind and really knocked that pass off trajectory because he hit him before he got it completely released.
So the clock is stopped with 4:52 to go in the first quarter. 3rd and 7 for the Cowboys. A big play early on for the Permian defense. The Panther crowd comes to their feet on the near side of Memorial Stadium. Hall to throw. Hall gets it away. Incomplete. Off the fingertips of Greg Hill. Lloyd Hill back defending for Permian.
Hill playing Hill that time.
No relation.
And it didn't amount to a hill of beans. I shouldn't have said that.
Is that the last one of those you're going to do today?
I hope. I'll try.
As long as you admit that it was bad, that's you're making progress. The kick coming up for the Cowboys now, and that is Harold Jones. That'll get it away from around the midfield stripe. Jones with the right foot kicks it high and deep. It will go inside the 5, and it'll be downed by the Cowboys. Do they down it or not? No, they don't.
He said he was in the end zone. I think his feet were in the end zone before he got control of the football. Official right on top of the play. Very, very close, though, to putting Permian pinned back on their own goal line.
Have you ever seen a crowd take a collective sigh of relief? That's what Permian's crowd just did.
And another sigh coming from the far side of the stadium that said, ooh, shucks, we almost. Watch it very closely. The ball just dies when it hits on this very wet turf, bounces straight up. The official is right there on the call. And the young man touches the ball but goes on in the end zone with it.
1st and 10 Permian, a full house backfield. Now it is Chavez in motion as the handoff comes to Don Billingsley. His first carry of the day. Billingsley will pick up a tough 3 yards, taking it out to the 23-yard line.
Some hard hitting going on down there in the trenches right now.
A game this close, Don. We'll keep an eye on the statistics the entire way. And statistically, that last drive, Carter did not score, but they did pick up 2 first downs and 46 yards on offense. So in the tie-breaking procedure, the Cowboys have the early advantage. 2nd and 6 as they give Billingsley 4 yards on the carry. The pitch comes back to Chris Comer. Comer looking outside, cannot go there because he is met by Richard Thomas.
Richard Thomas played this absolutely perfect as a defensive end. He fights off his block that's coming at him. Watch him fight off the block there, play off the block, and then make the tackle. Great job that he did of fighting off Brian Chavez's block.
So it's 3rd and 6 for the Panthers. 3rd and 6 from their own 24-yard line. 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Hill and Brown come out to the left side. Winchell back to throw. Winchell has time, gets it away, completed to Lloyd Hill. First down, Permian.
First down for the Odessa Permian Panthers. Gary Edwards making the stop that time on Lloyd Hill. Lloyd had a little problem hanging onto the football after he got it, but he managed to keep a hold of it long enough. Goes way up in the air to take the ball. Has to catch it on the second bounce, but that still counts. Get that one? Bounce counts.
That's very good. You're right. 10-yard pickup. Takes it out to the 34-yard line as Gary Gaines watches his Panther offense. Winchell has Villa to the right side. Keeps it on the ground to Don Billingsley. Billingsley trying to go outside. Cannot find any running room. That Carter defense stringing it out well and bringing Billingsley down, led by Lachey Matson and Derek Evans.
Both of them doing a great job of penetrating. They're just doing a great job of defense. They play the defense very sound, very technically sound defensive ball club.
Hill goes to the right side. Robert Brown to the left on 2nd and 11. 1-yard loss. Across the middle, incomplete. The pass intended for Lloyd Hill. Clifton Abraham defending. And Lloyd could not quite get his hands around the football.
Winchell taking that very short drop this time was, boy, I mean, he was in some heavy traffic around him as he released the football that time.
So the clock will stop with 2:22 to go in the first quarter. It's been a long first quarter, mainly because both offenses have chosen to throw the ball a lot and have not completed a lot. So the clock has stopped. 3rd and 11 from the 33. Winchell to throw again down the field, looking for Lloyd Hill. Hill catches it. He's down inside the 35-yard line. Lachey Matson and Gary Edwards brought him to the turf, but the Panthers are on the move.
I tell you what, Lloyd Hill had a big step that time. If Richell had got that ball just about 1 yard further, that would have been touchdown time because he was open. He was well behind the defender. The ball was a little bit underthrown, and he had to come wait on it a little bit, turn around the wrong way. Otherwise, he was long gone to the races.
A 23-yard pickup on the completion from Winchell to Hill, and Permian, their best series of the day, at the 34-yard line of the Cowboys. On the ground, that is Don Billingsley taking it inside the 30-yard line. Clifton Abraham brought him down.
Don Billingsley, the unheralded one in the backfield for Permian, out with a knee injury for 1 or 2 games. Back now, playing very well, running it hard inside that time. Picks up about 9 yards, about 6 yards on the pickup.
2nd and 4 from the 28-yard line. A minute and a half left in the first quarter of play. Full house backfield, double tight end. Up the middle to Chris Comer. Comer takes it to the 24-yard line. Jesse Armstead brought him down.
Very close to the first down, but they're going to mark it a yard short. They're marking it squarely on the 25-yard line. Set up 3rd and 1 on the 25.
1:10 and counting. As the Panthers have a key 3rd and 1. Panther crowd comes to their feet. Up the middle. Chris Comer will be very, very close. We'll have to see where they spot the ball as the clock will stop as a measurement will be made.
Where the official's foot is, he's about 6 inches short. No, he's about a foot short. He's a good foot short. It's going to be a 4th down. But this is 4-down territory. And you can bet your boots that Coach Gary Gaines is going for it at this point.
This drive for Permian started from their own 20-yard line with 4:38 to go in the first. We're now under a minute. And the Panthers have it 4th and 1, actually less than 1, just inside the 25-yard line. Winchell gives it to Comer. Comer stopped as soon as he got the football and did not make it.
No way. It goes over to the Carter Cowboys on their own 25-yard line as they stop Comer dead still. and he actually probably lost about a half.
Timeout on the field. We'll take time with the Permian Panthers and Carter Cowboys in a scoreless deadlock. We'll be back with more first quarter action in a moment.
Mercury, it's worth it. You want a car that you love to drive, and a whole lot more. So complete, everything you want a car to be. So complete, it's Mercury.
The 89 Mercury.
No score yet. Winchell now has Chavez in motion. Winchell gives it off to Chris Comer. Comer going outside. Will pick up a quick 5 yards before Gary Edwards brings him down. And Gary Edwards, one of the biggest names in high school football the last 4 weeks, I guess, is the one involved in the eligibility case.
Illegal procedure against Permian that time. I believe Brian Chavez turned upfield before the actual snap of the ball as he was coming across in motion. Carter's decided to accept the penalty, march them back a little bit further, set it up first down, and about, well, let's see, where they're going to actually mark the ball is going to be just inside the 5-yard line.
So 2 penalties in a row has put the Panthers in a very big hole. Under the 11-minute mark. The Permian crowd comes to their feet as they realize their offense needs a little bit more of a boost on 1st and 15 from their own 5. Winchell gives it off up the middle to Chris Comer. Comer will take it out across the 20-yard line and pick up a first down.
Chris Comer doing a great job of running a real burst through the line of scrimmage and just plows his way up through there. Watch this, some great blocking at the point of attack there. He does a great job of coming up. Clint Dunk in the center got a great job of blocking on the middle linebacker, and that's what opened it up.
Gary Edwards and Lachey Matson finally brought him down. A 17-yard pickup on the play takes it to the 22, where Permian has it 1st and 10.
Really a big play for the Permian offense.
On the ground again. Again, it's Chris Comer. Comer to the 35-yard line. Jesse Armstead wrestled him down, but Comer has picked up another first down.
Chris Comer doing a great job of running right here in this series and a great job of blocking. Ronnie Beavers that time was the man who got the great block on the line of scrimmage as he just caved him to the inside, and that gave him a chance to run.
An official's timeout is Chris Calhoun for the Cowboys, a little slow in getting up. Permian has taken it out to the 35-yard line where they'll have a first down. Their 4th first down of the day. The Cowboys have 2 first downs as Calhoun will be helped to the sidelines.
Permian offensive line on this last 2 plays has looked like they've decided to buckle down and block, and they are really doing a job. That time Ronnie Beavers caved his man in and then shoved about 2 more over on top of the stack.
So after the timeout for the injury, we'll get back to action with 10:07 to go in the first half of play. And again, when the game is as close as the first half has been, and we expect the game to be close the entire way, we look at the tie-breaking procedures, which go down to penetrations, first downs, and total yards. Neither team has a penetration. Permian came closest to a penetration when they had to drive in at the 25-yard line. Carter took it to the 32 of Permian before their 4th offensive drive ended. 1st and 10 from Permian's own 35, under the 10-minute mark, as Comer has the ball but has no running room that time.
Comer tried to go to the other side of the field this time on the same play. He did not get the block at the point of attack, and the linebacker in there very quickly to make the stop, and that's Armstead.
Armstead over 200 tackles on the season, which is a great career for most linebackers, but he's done that in 1 year. Easy to see why he's an All-American.
Great ball player, great size, 6'3", 220 pounds, and very, very good speed.
Hill to the left, Villa to the right. Winchell looks to throw for Lloyd Hill, and it'll be incomplete. Overthrown. Permian wanted pass interference. A flag will fly.
Yes, sir.
A flag comes in late, but it does come in. Gary Edwards, the guilty party for Carter.
Called by the back judge that time, as he was way downfield when he called the call. The official on this side was, no, they're waving it off.
Oh!
The judge on this side says that the ball was not catchable. He's saying that the ball is not catchable. It's too far overthrown. That's one of those calls that's in the rule book, and the officials have to call it that way. I've never agreed with it, because how do you know where he could have been if he had not been bumped?
But it'll be 3rd and 10, facing the Panthers.
But if you've got to call it, by the way, let me clarify myself, that was a correct call, because where the ball came down, it was not catchable.
That's Lloyd Hill in motion. Winchell sprints out, has time, throws, and it's tipped and incomplete.
And that's not pass interference, because the ball had been tipped before he was hit by the defensive back. Once that ball has been tipped, then it's free season on anyone and everyone. Watch the ball here now. As it comes out here on the slow-mo, it's tipped right there. At that point, Lloyd Hill is a free target, and he was hit. But that's good, solid defensive play.
So the Panthers do get it out of the hole as they started back at the 5-yard line. And there's the kick by Travis West. It'll bounce inside the 30-yard line and be downed inside the 30 by Chad Payne. There's 9 minutes and 2 seconds left to go in the first half. No score yet between the Carter Cowboys and the Permian Panthers. With a timeout on the field, we'll take time and be back with more first half action in just a moment.
NCNB's High Yield Plus CD is attracting a lot of interest. Maybe it's because Texans like our competitive rates and irresistible bonus rate. Or maybe they like doing business with one of the strongest banks in America. In fact, since the last time we told you, our number of accounts has grown from 50,000 all the way to 60,000 accounts. So, if you're looking for strength and great rates, we've got a CD for you. The High Yield Plus CD, only from NCNB Texas. Member FDIC.
Mercury, it's worth it. You want a car that you love to drive, and a whole lot more. So complete, everything you want a car to be. So complete, it's Mercury.
The '89 Mercury Sable. Stylish 6-passenger comfort with a long list of standard features. Add an option package with power windows, cassette radio, power lock, speed control, and much more, and you save $700. Looking for value? Look into Sable at your Lincoln Mercury dealer.
Mercury, it's worth it.
Chiropractic care is the answer for many of the common pains you experience day after day. At the Midland Chiropractic Clinic, we'll assess your specific needs and develop a custom treatment program to correct your specific problem. Our highly trained team of chiropractic specialists.
Back at Memorial Stadium, the Cowboys have it. 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Hall to throw, incomplete. Cotty Dean knocked it away from Anthony Allen coming out of the backfield.
And Chad Payne over there very quickly to try to pick up the tip ball. Almost got a good dive in there to get his hands on it. A little bit late, but the ball was thrown, and Payne coming after it, but he's about a step too late.
So the Cowboys will have it now. 2nd and 10 from the 27-yard line, just under the 9-minute mark. Full house backfield behind Robert Hall. Double tight end. Hall fakes the handoff, looks to throw, and it'll be completed. Ivory Christian bringing David Jones down.
It'll be a 3rd down. He did not quite pick up the 1st down. Very close out there, but not quite. He's about 2 yards short.
So the clock will continue to move, coming down on the 8.5-minute mark. As Carter has it 3rd and 2. 8-yard pickup.
It's definitely getting colder here at Memorial Stadium as the gloomy clouds continue to hang. No moisture at this time, but it is getting colder.
3rd and 2 from the 35. Up the middle. Carter does not make it. The Permian defense is held. On the handoff to Harvey Harper, Felipe Davila made the big hit.
Felipe Davila hits him first in the backfield, and then there's some other people who get in there, but Davila gets a hold of his legs right there. And then Sweet Pea comes in to make things surely not go any further.
So the Cowboys pick up 9 yards on that series, but they end up a yard short. Harold Jones in to kick once again. He gets it away. A low spiral will be taken by Robert Brown at the 30, slips, and will be brought down. Brown never did get his footing that time. Brought to the turf by the Cowboys' Michael Terry. Lachey Matson also got down there. And so Permian will begin 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line with 7:33 to go in the first half.
Boy, we talked about a defensive struggle, and that is exactly what is happening here. This is a defensive struggle.
Robert Brown goes wide to the right side. Now Lloyd Hill goes in motion. Winchell goes left side to Don Billingsley. Billingsley brought down by Derek Cherry.
And Cedric Buckley and Chris Calhoun and about a half a dozen others, including Matson and some others. A great team defense flowing to the short side of the field this time as they plugged it up real tight.
Clock continues to move as we come down on the 7-minute mark. 1 yard loss on the play will make it 2nd and 11. Ball back to the 30. Hill goes left. Brown goes right. Winchell looking for Lloyd Hill. And the ball will be incomplete. Back to defend for the Cowboys, it was Keith Valentine.
And I don't think that that was Robert Brown that time, and I don't think Robert Brown ever picked up the football. The football was thrown, he was looking back, but I don't think he ever saw it in the air.
That was Clifton Abraham back defending.
Watch him this time. He's trying to find the ball, and by the time he finally spots it, it's way over his outside shoulder. He was looking for it back inside.
So the clock will stop. 6:48 to go in the first half. Permian has it 3rd and 11. Hill goes in motion. Winchell on the delay, but the Carter defense is there. There is a flag that comes in.
Not sure what that's going to be. It may be some kind of I believe it's going against Permian.
Derek Cherry made the hit.
A holding call against Permian. Where the flag came down, almost had to be a penalty against Permian, or a face mask, but it was a penalty against Permian. Tell you what, that official has got an arm on him. Did you watch that
pretty
throw?
Good, didn't he?
I'll tell you what, right on the money.
It's not easy to throw a flag where you want it to either.
He could be right across the field at the interstate at Dish Falk Field playing baseball.
So the Cowboys will accept that penalty, pushing the ball back to the 20-yard line. Permian will have 3rd and 21 in front of them now.
Here we come. Look at that flag throw.
Wow, that was nice.
Man, I tell you what, I like these form too. Good. Looked like a catcher.
21. Winchell looks to throw, looking for Lloyd Hill. Hill falls down, and it's intercepted. The Cowboys have it. Gary Edwards will come back now and be still on his feet. A flag will come in. Edwards down inside the 30-yard line. Another flag comes in. There's 3 flags on the field. After Lloyd Hill slipped, Gary Edwards had it all to himself. In fact, 3 Cowboy defenders were back there. We'll check out the laundry. I believe all of them would come after the interception.
I'm sure of that, but it was, I'll tell you what. Now, I was complimenting the one official that time threw his flag. Man, I mean, it had to be a 20-yard throw.
So the penalty will push the ball back to the 44-yard line.
You see Lloyd Hill fall down right there, and that left the ball wide open for someone. They pick it up, and then he cuts back, and that sets up some. Oh, there's the clip right there. Big clip, another clip right there. Another clip right there. Oh, that's the reason 3 flags, 3 clips.
1st and 10 Carter. They begin from their own 44-yard line. Hall sprints out to throw, pressured, and he'll be still on his feet, now brought down. Boy, Robert Hall can get away. Billy Steen and Ivory Christian.
Did a great job that time of finally corralling him and bringing him down, but Robert Hall can scramble. He's not the heralded one in this offense, but I'll tell you what, the young man is pretty good.
No huddle for the Cowboys. 2nd and 10, back to live action. Hall looks to throw again. Hall hit! Brought down out of bounds. Felipe Davila.
Davila came up with the big defensive play that time when Permian needed to the very, very worst as the Carter Cowboys took the ball in great field position and began moving it down the field. I tell you what, this is a very big crowd. The crowd continues to grow as the game goes on. I'm not sure whether they're students at the university or people arriving late, but it's getting to be a pretty good-sized crowd here.
3rd and 16. Carter from their own 38-yard line. Hall pitches it back to Grant. Grant looking outside, can't find running room. Brought down by Sweepy Brian Johnson.
Permian defensive effort on this series is outstanding as Carter had got the ball with the very best field position they had had. Watch this. This is the way that coaches teach it. Brian Johnson fights it off, forces him to come back and then makes the tackle. A great job by Brian Johnson.
So it'll be a 3-yard loss on that play. 4th and 19. Line of scrimmage, the 35-yard line. Harold Jones to kick. Gets another nice high spiral away. Lloyd Hill at the 15-yard line. Hill needs the block. Gets it at the 30. Hill will be wrestled out of bounds by Edwards at the 39, and a flag will fly. A flag will tack more yardage onto it.
Well, that's one of those plays. I'm not sure where the original contact was made, but he finished the contact out of bounds. Tough call, the official's down there, and he's got to make it. Let's watch as he comes here and see where the first contact is made. Is Lloyd Hill inbounds or out of bounds? He's got him when he's inbound. No, he's out of bounds by the time he finally got a hold of him. But the call came on another man who came in after the tackle was made and hit him out of bounds.
As Gary Edwards was wrestling him out of bounds, another man came and made the hit, which caused the penalty, and takes the ball into Cowboy territory. There's the call again with the ball taken down to the 46-yard line. So Permian in good field position to start the drive with 5:06 left in the first half of play. And no score in the ball game. Statistically, Permian still has 4 first downs. Carter has 2 first downs. Neither team has a penetration. Hill and Brown to the right. Comer and Billingsley offset to the right behind Mike Winchell. Winchell up the middle to Comer, who takes it inside the 45-yard line. A quick pickup, and he is sandwiched in the middle there.
Trying to see who makes the initial hit here. It was somebody, a lineman from the backside of Carter, and I'm not sure who it was. It may have been Nathaniel Savage that time.
2-yard pickup on the carry by Comer, setting up 2nd and 8 at the 44. Clock continues to move with 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Split on the right is Adrian Villa. Hill is to the left side. Tight side of the field. Winchell goes to the long count, gives it back to Comer. Comer running room. Comer will take it for a first down. Down the sidelines, out of bounds, inside the 30. Gary Edwards and Lachey Matson pushed him out. Permian on the move.
And the Permian crowd, once again, is unhappy. That's what the booing you hear. They think there was a late hit out of bounds here. I'm not sure that there really was. The hit occurs right there inbounds, and it's finished off out of bounds, but that's not the kind of call that is a late hit. He was inbounds when the man made contact.
I don't know if that's a boo as much as the hoo, hoo, hoo chant, which Permian has seemed to pick up from the Carter crowd, which brought that over with them today. 1st and 10 at the Carter 28-yard line. 4:20 to go in the half. Brown to the right, Hill to the left. Winchell gets it back to Comer, who's hit behind the line and brought down. Big defensive play by the Cowboys, and that was Joseph Tips that made the hit.
Joseph Tips did a great job of coming across the line of scrimmage, and he took nobody's fake that time and met Comer before he could ever get his shoulder squared upfield.
Well, that's one way to put at least a little bit of a silencer on this Permian crowd that had started to gather their own momentum. A 3-yard loss. It's 2nd and 13. The ball back to the 31. 3:40 and counting down. Winchell gives it back to Comer. Comer gets a block. Comer has running room. Comer inside the 20. Comer on his feet inside the 10. That's a Mojo touchdown.
And there are no flags on the field. No flags on the field. An absolutely wild game. There is a Carter player down on the field. Hate to see that.
What a run by Chris Comer.
Chris Comer gets a great block right there by Don Billingsley that springs him at the line of scrimmage. And then right on down the field here, he breaks away from a tackle there and just keeps going. Chris Comer doing a great job of running. And I can tell you, for a man who was a substitute, he's having one heck of a season.
Chris Comer takes it in from 31 yards out and puts Permian on the board in the semifinal game. Trying to catch his breath right there, and he deserves a little bit of a breather after a tough run.
Number 68, Jeffrey McLennis, the nose tackle, is the one who got hurt that time. The way he got hurt is he was trying to make the tackle, and one of his own teammates fell across him and fell on his back and legs, and that's what caused him to be injured on that play.
Try for the point after by Alan Wiles. Stan Wilkins will hold. The all-important extra point.
No good.
Wilkins could not get a handle on the snap, and by the time he got the ball down, the defense collapsed around him. So the extra point is no good. But Permian takes the lead with 3 minutes and 29 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Panthers up 6-0.
And I'm sure that Coach Gaines is not real happy about that mixed extra point, because that leaves the door open, because this obviously, I think, is going to be a very low-scoring affair. You hate to miss that try for extra point.
The drive for Permian, 46 yards, 1 minute and 37 seconds. It took them just 4 plays to put it in the end zone. And the final play, the 31-yard run by Chris Comer.
I'm not sure it's because the seats are cold and wet or because of the tension that is building in this crowd, but there's nobody sitting down. They didn't need seats. They just needed a place to stand.
So the Panthers will kick off. Robert Brown to do the honors. Ready for the final 3:29 of this first half. Permian not only picks up the 6, they pick up a penetration as well in that drive. And they also add a first down. The ball is teed up. Robert Brown ready to put it on down the field. Now the Permian defense trying to do what they have done the entire first half. Shut down the Carter offense and keep them out of the end zone and take a lead into the locker room. Squib kick will be taken at the 30-yard line. Nice return by the Cowboys across the 40.
I don't know who the up man was that took that, but tell you what, they need to look at him as a running back. Did a good job, made a real quick move there as he caught the ball and then hustled right down the field. Picked up about 10 yards.
I think it was Keith Valentine. We'll have to check on it. I believe it was Keith Valentine, an end, who makes a nice return.
3:25 to go in the first half of play, and Carter really wants to get something on the board now.
Cowboys start from their own 42-yard line. Receivers to the right side, and Robert Hall looks to throw. Hall sprints out to the right, puts it in the air, completed to Marcus Grant.
And picks up a first down in the effort as he gets just past the 10-yard mark. Good pattern run that time. Let's take a watch here. Some pressure being put on Hall, the quarterback, as it's coming up the middle and from the outside. Womack, the one with in his face, but a great job of catching the ball. Cotty Dean there to make the tackle, but not until he had picked up about 11 yards.
The ball to the 46-yard line with 3 minutes and counting left in the first half. Grant goes to the left. A receiver to the right. Hall looks for Grant, doesn't find him. It's incomplete.
Boy.
Cotty Dean covering on the player, and that was Stan Wilkins.
Tell you what, he was there very, very quickly, whoever it was. Right. Well, I mean, as quick as the ball got there, Stan Wilkins was there with the football. Did a great job of batting at it.
So the clock will stop with 2:54 to go in the half. Still plenty of time for the Cowboys as they have it in Permian territory. To the right side, it is Harper. Grant to the left. He's looking for Grant again, who's open and has the ball inside the 20-yard line.
A great catch by Grant that time. He lays his body out, stretches as far as he can, and catches the football. That, my friends, is a great athletic catch.
Not
Watch
only
it this time. I thought the ball was overthrown by about 2 yards, and it really was, but he catches the ball and goes down with it. Great job. He's got some great speed.
Not only do they pick up a long gain and take the ball to the 18, they pick up a penetration and another first down. The Cowboys on the move. 1st and 10 at the Permian 18-yard line. Hall to throw again. Hall in the end zone, and it is incomplete. Off the fingertips of Brian Mitchell, who saw 6 points float out of bounds.
I tell you what, he was about as wide open as you can get in the back of the end zone. He had the coverage beat by about 2 yards. All the room in the world, and the ball's not badly thrown. It's wobbling a little, but he had all the chance in the world to catch it, but it just wasn't to be that time.
You see the Permian Band getting ready for their halftime performance, which we will be showing you in just a moment. In fact, a little over 2 minutes and 27 seconds away.
And it's starting to rain again here at Austin Memorial Stadium, and that makes it a little tougher.
2nd and 10 from the 18-yard line. Hall puts Grant in motion. Hall looks to throw. Down the sidelines, incomplete. Pass intended for Dietrich Clark. Well past him as Robert Brown was defending.
Pretty tight coverage that time. Actually, they weren't standing right on top of the receiver, but there was in and out coverage, and he really would have been pretty tough for him to get to that football. Lloyd Hill there on the coverage. They were coming very quickly, closing on the ball.
So the clock stops with 2:22 left in the first half. Permian leading 6-0, but the Cowboys knocking on the door, and they'll take a timeout. Carter will take time.
Carter will take time out. 2:22 left in the ball game, or left in the first half of play. The officials are now have to cover the ball each time between snaps, as it is starting to rain a little bit more sincerely.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's just say harder. Yeah, it's raining harder. Yeah.
My English teacher told me not to use the same word all the time.
You see the rain there on the track. The lights have been on the entire way. You can see the reflection in the lights as well on the track here at Memorial Stadium. The AstroTurf here at Memorial Stadium is some of the older turf that you will see put down, I believe, back in the 70s. And it's very, very thin anyway. When it's not raining, the AstroTurf is slick. But when you put rain on top of it, it becomes very, very slippery. And really, Don, I've been surprised we haven't seen more players losing their footing on it today.
One thing, Kurt, AstroTurf, people need to understand something. When AstroTurf gets a little bit wet, many times you have better traction than you do when it's dry. Your shoes grip a little tighter, so it's not going to give them problem as far as standing up, but it sure does make that football heavy and hard to throw.
A big play in this ball game, 3rd and 10. Carter at the Permian 18. Robert Hall looks to throw. Up the middle, it's completed for a touchdown. Marcus Grant takes it in for 6.
Well, here comes the extra point try, and this could be a very, very crucial play. Watch this. He's wide open right up the middle on a quick little slant post, or just a post pattern to the center of the field, and he was wide open coming in.
So the Cowboys, after surrendering the Permian touchdown, come back in rather easy fashion to tie up the game and now try to take the lead. Harold Jones will try to tack on the extra point.
And he does.
It is through the uprights. So with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in the first half, Carter has come back to take the lead over Permian.
7-6 ball game, and it's raining, it's cold, it's dreary, and kind of foggy looking as you start looking out across the skyline in Austin.
That scoring drive for Carter, they started from their own 42-yard line. It took them 6 plays to move 58 yards, 1 minute and 7 seconds off the clock. And then the touchdown drive completed with the Hall to Grant pass. But there's still 2 minutes and 18 seconds left to go in this first half, and Permian will get the ball back. This will be the first time that Carter has kicked off. Permian kicked off to open the game, and of course after their touchdown, the Cowboys will kick off now. Back to receive deep for Permian will be Robert Brown and Adrian Villa. Harold Jones, who just kicked that extra point through, has the ball teed up and ready to kick on down the field. A defensive struggle early, and then the teams trade touchdowns, but Carter converts on the extra point to take the lead. There's the kick by Jones. A low kick will bounce and go into the end zone, go out of the end zone, and on the touchback, Permian will start it from the 20-yard line. No return for Permian, so there's 2 minutes and 18 seconds left to go in the first half. And that touchdown drive by Carter has taken a little bit of the fight out of the Permian fans as they have quietened down for one of the first times today.
Tell you what, it is, I mentioned this, the rain is continuing to come down out here on the field, and it's getting wet again. You can start to see the wet show up on the field. It's going to make a difference in what kind of game you're going to play.
Mike Winchell puts Billingsley in motion and gives the ball to Chris Comer. Comer trying to go outside will pick up 3 yards before Jesse Armstead brings him down.
Just a little pitch toss play that they try to break Comer loose on the outside and let him get a little running room there. Not much available.
So it'll be 2nd and 7 as the clock moves under the 2-minute mark. The ball out to the 23-yard line. Hill and Villa both come out to the left side. Backs are split to the left. Winchell, quick toss across the middle to Villa. It's incomplete. Adrian Villa could not come up with it at the 30-yard line as the Cowboys knocked it away. So
watch it here. The ball is right on target to Villa, and he's got plenty of room. It just bounced off of his hands and up in the air. Let the ball get into his chest, maybe trying to catch it against his body instead of with his hands that time because it is wet and slick. And the football literally gets heavier as it gets wet.
This time it's Hill and Brown coming out to the left. 3rd and 7 from the 23 as Winchell sprints back to throw. Winchell can't find anyone open. He'll run for the first down. Mike Winchell will take it out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
Mike Winchell, who does not often scramble with the football, but that time he saw a wide open lane and he took advantage of it. Watch him here as he's back and there's a wide open lane. He ducks through it and he is off to the races. Winchell showing a little better speed than a lot of people think that he has.
Lachey Matson pushed him out. It was the 48-yard line where Mike Winchell finally went out of bounds. The rain continuing to fall at Memorial Stadium. 1:31 left in the first half. 1st and 10 Permian from their own 48-yard line. On the delay, Chris Comer has it and takes it into Cowboy territory.
Minute 25 left to play in the ball game, or in the first half of this ball game.
The clock continues to move. It'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go. coming down on the 1 minute mark. In fact, it'll be at about a minute when Permian finally snaps the ball. 2nd and 5 from the Carter 47-yard line. Winchell across the middle, incomplete. Intended for Robert Brown. Permian fans wanted pass interference. No flag forthcoming. Clifton Abraham on the coverage.
Well, both men are playing the football this time, and both men have equal right to it. So I'm not sure there. Perhaps.
Clock will stop with 57 seconds to go in the half. And now a timeout will be called by the Carter Cowboys.
No, Permian called. No, he died. Make up my mind.
There we go. Well, he has to make up his mind first. So Carter does call the timeout. That'll also give Coach Gary Gaines a chance to talk it over with Mike Winchell on the sidelines and see what the Panthers want to do on a big 3rd and 5. Permian did get it out of a hole, this drive starting from their own 20-yard line. And the Cowboy defense on the far side of the field.
On Massey.
On Massey. Oh, that's good. We're trying a little French here today, huh?
Tell you what, I don't know what the weather reminds me of, but it is, I've seen nicer weather to play football.
There's a Panther and the Permian cheerleaders trying to rev this crowd back up.
And the rain coming down steadily, not a heavy rainfall, but a steady rainfall, and it's really beginning to show up on the turf now. There's a dry strip right down through the middle of the field, but the rest of it, you're beginning to get the reflection of the water as it's standing very heavily in the turf.
Yeah, I mentioned the crowd was a little quieter. Another reason why they're quieter is that rain, because they brought their umbrellas out, and their hands are holding up an umbrella, and they can't bang them together now. 3rd and 5 from the Cowboy 47. Winchell looks to throw. Winchell looking for Lloyd Hill. It's out of bounds. And that one, I think, just slipped a little as Mike Winchell went to try to complete it to Lloyd Hill.
52 seconds to go, and that brings up a 4th down in a punting situation.
Marcus Grant retreats at his own 10-yard line, ready to receive the kick from Travis West.
Carter has really put some pressure every time that West is kicked today. They're really bringing a hard rush on him.
West gets a good snap and kick. It will bounce at the 21-yard line, and Cotty Dean will take it in at the 22. So Carter will have 44 seconds left to go in the first half of play. 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line.
I don't see a flag on the field, but the officials and people are standing around as if there is.
The call going against Carter.
And it was before the punt, I do believe. They're going to come back here. If it's a 5-yard penalty even, it's going to give Permian very, very close to a 1st down. Very close.
An unsportsmanlike conduct call,
oh, that's
I believe.
15. That's big ones. That's 1st down time. That's 1st down time.
So a very big penalty.
I never did see where the flag went down on the field.
So that will take the ball down to the 32-yard line, where Permian has it. 1st and 10.
44 seconds remaining in this first half.
Hill and Brown to the left. Winchell looks to throw, pumps once, airs it out for Lloyd Hill, and it is incomplete at the 5-yard line, defending Gary Edwards, and Edwards had worked himself in between Lloyd Hill and the football.
Gary Edwards, playing perfect defensive position that time, simply would not let Lloyd Hill curl in to catch the football. Good job of playing defense, and Lloyd Hill just didn't have a chance to get there.
5 seconds ticked off the clock. 39 seconds left in the half as Permian comes up to the line of scrimmage. Hill and Villa to the left. Backs offset to the left. Winchell up the middle to Chris Comer. Comer takes it inside the 30-yard line. Clock continues to move. It'll be 3rd and long for Permian. Now the clock will stop.
Permian takes a timeout here. As they, if nothing else, Kurt, they're within about 8 yards of making another penetration, which in the battle of statistics could come important.
The Panthers will play the winner of Converse, Judson, and Stratford.
Houston, Stratford, right.
Playing in the Astrodome right now. And that game going on at the same time this one is going on at Memorial Stadium in Austin. 34 seconds are left in the first half. Permian took the 6-0 lead. On the next possession, Carter came back to score and kicked the extra point to make it 7-6. And that's where we are right now. Permian now trying to come from behind and retake the lead late in this first half. Head coach Gary Gaines in his 3rd year as the head coach at Permian, talking over with Mike Winchell. In 2 of those 3 years that Coach Gaines has been at Permian, Mike Winchell's been his quarterback.
And those same 2 years, they have made it to this round of the playoffs. Last year losing out in the semifinals
to the eventual state champion Plano. And this year, a number of those players were on the team, of course, and remember what it was like last year. And they've used that as a little bit of incentive to try to go one step farther in 88. 3rd and 6 from the 28-yard line. The Permian crowd comes to their feet. Hill to the left. Winchell retreats to throw. Winchell will run with the ball and be brought down at the 25-yard line. It'll be 4th down facing Permian.
And another Permian timeout as they're going to mark the ball at about the 20.5-yard line. No, 24.5-yard line, pardon me. About 2.5 yards short of a first down.
There's 22 seconds left in the half. Where it is spotted, if you bring on Alan Wiles, you would have about a 42-yard field goal attempt. Is my math right? 25, 7, 32, 42.
That's close.
You like that?
That's close. You add well.
Thank you. But in this weather, not the best weather in which to kick.
Well, even more trouble than kicking is snapping the ball.
So as it stands right now, Permian has a 4th down in front of them. 4th and about 2.5 yards. Officially, we'll call it 3. At the 25-yard line. And that's where we need a microphone, right down there with Gary Gaines and Larry Curry and Tam Hollingshead.
The Brain Trust.
And Mike Winchell now will head back to the field.
Then the Permian crowd starts their incantation of mojo as they're trying to call on a little spirit power here. And if they ever needed it, this is one of the times where they really do.
4th and 3 from the 25-yard line. Brown and Hill. Wide to the left. Mike Winchell gets the ball on the delay to Chris Comer. First down, Permian at the 20-yard line.
He's inside the 20, I do believe. Let's see where they mark it. It may be penetration time. It may not.
Permian has 1 timeout remaining.
And the ball is right on the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at the 20. 12 seconds to go. Winchell to throw, and it's incomplete, out of bounds. The clock will stop with 8 seconds left in the half.
I'll tell you what, if he's going to throw the ball out of bounds again, he better throw it a little further out because Gary Edwards that time got over there and almost made an interception out of that. 8 seconds left in the ball game. Permian, I believe the scoreboard clock is showing that they have 1 timeout left.
It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line. Mike Winchell is over talking with Gary Gaines. And I believe they have called that final timeout. No, they still have 1 left. Okay.
All right.
Well, we're not sure. The scoreboard shows 1. I I really think they're out of timeouts now, but we'll keep an eye on it. Robert Brown goes wide right, Lloyd Hill to the left. 8 seconds left in the half. Winchell up the middle to Comer. Comer inside the 15-yard line. And a quick timeout will be called, so they did have one timeout left.
Boy, I tell you what, that looked like they were setting up to try to kick the field goal that time, because they ran the ball right up the middle, and they've got it right square dab in the middle of the field. Your math quickly, sir. The kick would come from about the 20-yard line. That would make it a 30-yard field goal.
I'm trying to find out where number 41 is. There he is, Travis West. Alan Wiles. Wiles is sticking right by Coach Gaines. And Allen says he keeps his eye on him to see if he says go, and he says go.
He says go. Here they
comes
go.
Alan Wiles, number 41, onto the field. There's 4 seconds left in the half, and Wiles will line it up at the 22-yard line. So it'll be a 32-yard field goal attempt. The Panthers trail by 1 point, 7-6. A Wiles field goal puts them on top by a deuce. Stan Wilkins will hold. The snap back, the ball down, the kick is through, no good, off to the left. The kick had the distance.
Another bad snap that time is what caused the problem. Just having trouble handling the ball on the snap. Watch it. The snap comes back. He has to catch it in against his body, and by the time he can get it down, it's just enough to throw the timing off. The ball goes just to the left.
So the first half ends on the missed field goal attempt by Permian, but what a great half of football it was from the 1988 semifinal game. We'll be back in a moment to show you the Marching Mojo Band with our halftime score. Dallas Carter 7, Odessa Permian.
Odessa Permian High School Marching Band, under the direction of Charles Nail, has been brought to you by The Vault, where the
Memorial Stadium in Austin. Kurt Kaiser along with Don Scott as we look at the first half of action statistically for you. First of all, recapping the 2 scoring drives. The first for the Permian Panthers, which put them on top in the ball game, 6-0, came with 3 minutes and 29 seconds left in the first half of play. A scoring drive which started from the Carter 46-yard line. Took just 4 plays to take it into the end zone. Chris Comer capped it off with a 31-yard touchdown run. Comer over the 100-yard mark already in the ball game. The Panthers missed the extra point on a fumbled snap, and they had a 6-0 lead. But it didn't take the Cowboys long to get back in the ball game and take the lead. 6-play drive, taking just 1 minute and 7 seconds to go 58 yards. And Carter scored with 2:18 to go in the half. The extra point was good. The scoring play on a pass from Robert Hall to Marcus Grant of 18 yards, and the Cowboys were on the board with a 7-6 lead where we stand right now. Statistically, as you look at the first half, Don, Permian has the better stats, 189 total yards to 131. They lead in first downs 9-5. We mentioned Chris Comer over 100. He has 109 yards. The two teams are actually flip-flopped as far as where they have most of the yards. Carter, 12 carries for only 14 on the ground, 117 through the air. Permian, 145 on the ground. Mike Winchell is 2 of 16 passing for 44 yards with 1 interception. And Grant has 3 catches for 58 yards. So statistically, Permian has the edge on the scoreboard, which is a little more important. It's Carter that has the edge.
Well, I think the main thing that Permian is, if they look back at the first half of play that they'd like to correct, of course, is the missed extra point, and then, of course, the missed field goal try that came right at the end of the first half of play. Those 4 points on the scoreboard would make a major difference in this ball game. As it is now, Permian has got to play the come-from-behind role when they score, or if they score again on the touchdown, then they're almost in a position that they're forced to go for 2 points. And that makes it more difficult. So it's really at Carter's advantage right now. The rain continues to come down somewhat here at Memorial Stadium in Austin. The temperature continues to go down somewhat here at Memorial Stadium in Austin. And I don't think these clouds are going to go away. So it's going to be a tough second half of play. And I'm sure that the defensive battle will continue to be the dominant part of this football game.
The Panthers and the Cowboys just moments away from returning to the field here at Memorial Stadium in Austin. We'll have the second half of action in this 1988 semifinal game for you in just a moment with our halftime score. Odessa Permian trailing Dallas Carter 7-6 in Austin. The Panthers and the Cowboys just about ready to return to a very wet Memorial Stadium. As you see the rain glistening off the field here in Austin on the University of Texas campus. And the Panthers ready to come through a banner which says, Texas is Mojo Country.
And Carter ready to come through a banner at the other end, and I can't read it. I've been through this. This is deja vu. I've done this before. And they came through it before I could read it.
Something about shoot 'em down Cowboys, I believe. You need to give both banners equal time. I think that's a UIL rule, isn't it?
Sure. I'm not concerned.
You haven't read them all, Don. That's one of them. I haven't read them all.
Okay.
Here come the Panthers.
Well, I'll tell you this. The field at Memorial Stadium is very, very wet for the second half of play. They worked on it very, very hard. The ground crew did here from about noon on today, squeegeeing the water off to the sidelines. And it was pretty nice during the first quarter of play, and then it started raining again. And now the field itself is very, very wet. You might see some spectacular slides in the second half of play here. And both teams coming back out of a warm locker room. Looks like both teams have changed jerseys. They look fresh and clean and dry. They're ready to play. And I'm ready for them to play.
One thing I don't think the Panthers can do, Don, is to get too down in the ballgame. They had a couple of problems in that half, specifically the missed extra point and the missed field goal that you mentioned. But still, as you look at the score, 7-6, anyone's ballgame at this stage, and Permian cannot get too down in not having a lead at this stage, a lead that I think they feel they should have.
Well, in a defensive football game, the thing that is going to happen, somebody, somewhere in this second half is going to make a mistake. And that mistake is what's going to probably determine this football game. Defensively, both ball clubs have played almost error-free football. One breakdown by Carter, that was Comer's long run. One breakdown by Permian, that was the pass into the end zone. That were the only two really defensive breakdowns in the ball game. It's just not likely that both ball clubs will continue to play flawless defense. And when somebody makes a mistake, then the other team is going to have to take advantage, and he who takes advantage of a mistake made by the other shall win. That's an old Chinese proverb.
Yes, that was in a fortune cookie. You
right,
got
read
that
it over
night.
at the China Garden. He got it last Friday.
Passing-wise, Mike Winchell has had problems passing in not great conditions. The one thing we should mention about Mike Winchell, not only is he playing in a state semifinal football game, but it's Mike's birthday. So happy birthday to Mike Winchell. And I know of no greater present that Mike would like to enjoy than a trip to the state championship game next week.
In fact, I think that's the only birthday present that he really wants.
That's right. The Panthers will receive the second half kick. Adrian Villa, Robert Brown dropping deep as the kick ready to be made by Harold Jones. And the second half of the Carter Permian semifinal matchup is underway. The kick by Jones will bounce to the 10, will go in the end zone, out of the end zone, past Robert Brown. And Permian will take over from their own 20-yard line. You could see the wet turf right there, and the ball just took a bounce and skidded right past Robert Brown.
Well, the field is very, very saturated at this point. It rained most of the night here, and then they squeegeed it off. We had a little bit of dry weather, but it is wet out there now. The field is saturated, and it's not going to get any better because it's continuing to come down. And there is no sunshine. The lights are on here at Memorial Stadium and are really making a difference in how well lit it is, and there is a penalty on the kickoff, and we're going to do that again.
Mike Winchell just indicating to the official that he would like them to kick one more time. Permian looking for a little better field position, as they would have started at their own 20-yard line. So we'll try it once again, as Carter will be pushed back 5 yards.
I believe the far side of the field, the contain man on the outside over there was offside. I was watching it. The officials don't even really like to throw their flags down, because how do you like to carry a wet, soppy rag around in your pocket at this point?
Well, I haven't tried it, but it doesn't sound like a good way to spend the day. But there's a lot of wet, what was that word, soppy?
Soppy.
Soppy. There's a lot of wet, soppy fans out there right now on both sides. As we, this is either a football game in the rain or an umbrella convention, as we have a number of umbrellas, and very colorful umbrellas.
There's a lot of orange showing up on both sides of the stadium now, and the reason being that the gift shop downstairs, being the University of Texas, doesn't sell anything but orange, and a lot of people took time at halftime to buy orange Slickers.
Yeah, that's the only color they have in this town, I think. We'll do it one more time. Harold Jones from the 35, high end over end kick. There will be a return as Adrian Villa's under it at the 12, back to the 15, the 20. Villa takes it up to the 30-yard line, brought down at the 33. So Permian did get better field position as they made the Cowboys kick it over, and the Panthers will start it from the 33.
Okay, that is a penalty that was costly. A mistake. It cost them field position, if nothing else, about 12 yards of it. And in a ball game like this, 12 yards could mean a lot.
Panthers come up to the line of scrimmage. Clint Duncan, the center. Chris Sanford, Jeff Garrett as guards. Jared McDougal, Ronnie Beaver as the tackles. Mike Winchell has Billingsley and Comer in his backfield. Robert Brown is split to the left. Lloyd Hill is to the right side. Panthers keep it on the ground to Chris Comer. Comer with running room. Comer to the 45-yard line. Fumble on the play, and Carter has it. The Cowboys come up with a big break. After a nice run by Comer, the ball squirted free.
And there is a Carter player down on the field. Let's take a replay of this. Chris Comer takes the ball, runs hard, and he puts out a lot of second effort right here. He gets hit again and again, and there's the ball just flipped out of his arms as he was going down. Permian player was on it first, but then a Carter player got it as the ball squirted out from under him. And there is a Carter player down on the field. Was hit right at the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And the rain is really starting to pelt down now at Memorial Stadium. Coming down hard.
So the player for Carter being helped to his feet is Nathaniel Savage.
Nathaniel Savage, one of the nose tackle on is the two technique on the five-man front, and a mainstay in this Carter defense, and He's moving rather gingerly to the sideline. Can't tell what it is, but that you hate to see in any football game.
So Carter gets an early break and takes over the football at the Permian 49-yard line. 11:46 to go in the third. Carter leading 7-6. That's Robert Hall back to throw. Hall airs it out. It will be incomplete. Intended for Marcus Grant. Pass underthrown to Grant at the 35-yard line.
And boy, I mean, the rain is pouring down now at Memorial Stadium, really coming down. Going to make the passing game very, very difficult as the quarterbacks are going to have a hard time throwing it. The receivers are going to have a hard time catching it. And the defenders are going to have a hard time covering them. It's tough weather to play in.
Clark comes wide to the left side. Two receivers are to the right as Hall looks to throw again. Up the middle, incomplete, almost intercepted by Ivory Christian, as Ivory had it in his hands but couldn't come up with it.
Well, both sides have dropped one here to start the second half. Oh, right in Ivory Christian's hands. I mean, that looked like it was thrown to him.
The Permian players are trying to rev up the crowd, and it works as the crowd comes to their feet. 3rd and 10, facing the Cowboys. 2 incomplete passes in a row. The Cowboys have receivers wide right and wide left. Hall looks for Grant, can't find him, overthrown. 3 incompletions in a row, and it's 4th down.
One of the peace officers on the side doing a nice left-handed throw to send it back. A little pressure coming up the middle that time, and the ball slipping and sliding out of the quarterback's hands. If it continues to rain this hard, it's going to be difficult to throw the football down here.
Harold Jones will drop back to kick. 3 incomplete passes in a row by quarterback Robert Hall. Back to receive for Permian. It'll be Lloyd Hill in the middle, flanked on either side by Stan Wilkins and Robert Brown. Jones back to kick from around his own 40-yard line. Flag will fly, and it looks like it'll go against the Cowboys.
Someone faked the blitz that time, and one of the Carter linemen picked his hands up, and that's a 5-yard penalty. It's really tough to sit there as a offensive lineman getting ready to block someone, and somebody starts jumping back and forth in your face. It takes real discipline to sit real still.
Fourth and 15. There's a snap. It's a good one. Blocked by Permian. Steve Womack got in there for the block. It's on the ground. Carter falls on it. Permian has the ball inside the 20-yard line. Steve Womack.
I told you that sooner or later someone's going to make a mistake in the ball game, and the mistake came on the special teams again. This time it was Carter who made it, as they did not do a good job of punt protection. Womack getting in there, blocking that punt and recovering it all the way down on the 17-yard line. No, let's see, where is it? 17-yard line, I believe, is where he's going to set it down. A 17-yard line. Big break for the Permian Panthers going in to this third quarter of action.
Lloyd Hill, no, instead that's Trent Hendrick, who is to the right side. Via split left. Mike Winchell gives it to Chris Comer. Comer at the 15, tripped up as he goes down at the 15-yard line. Richard Thomas making the stop as the Panthers keep it on the ground.
2-yard pickup sets them down on the 15-yard line. Hard running inside. Tough defensive play again by the Dallas Carter defense. And I'll tell you this much, they have gained my respect. This is a fine defensive football team from Dallas Carter.
Under the 11-minute mark. Lloyd Hill is to the left. Robert Brown split right. 2nd and 8. Pitch comes to Comer. Gets a block from Billingsley. Comer's at the 10. Chris Comer is down for a first down at the 6-yard line. Clifton Abraham kept him out of the end zone, but the Panthers have it. 1st and goal.
Well, I tell you what, there was some Tremendous blocking out on the outside that time. Watch this right here. Don Billingsley gets a good brush block that drives his man out. Then Lloyd Winchell comes back in and just drops his man, and that's what did it. Mike Winchell, Lloyd Winchell? Who's he play for? Mike Winchell, great block.
First and goal from the 7-yard line for the Panthers. 10.5 minutes to go in the third. Permian trying to come from behind. Winchell gets the ball back to Billingsley, who is stopped as soon as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. The Carter defense collapsing around the ball carrier, Don Billingsley.
Okay,
and that'll be second and goal.
That time Carter was playing a little more honest on defense. They were playing with a 6-man front on the play before, and that's what made it possible to go outside on them, because everybody was trapped back inside thanks to Winchell's block. But that time they were covering both inside and outside.
No gain on the play. Second and goal from the 7-yard line under the 10-minute mark. As the pitch comes to Chris Comer. Comer takes it down to the 3 before he is hit hard. So it's inside the 5-yard line. Lachey Matson made the first hit on Chris Comer. Also, Clifton Abraham was there. Comer a little slow in getting up, but he retreats to the huddle.
Boy, I tell you what, there is a hit put on him right here. And there were a lot of people in on that hit. The other one that was in there was Richard Thomas, and he really hit him hard as the rain continues to pour down at Memorial Stadium in Austin.
Third and goal from the 3-yard line for Permian. The pitch to Chris Comer. Comer brought down, but a flag will fly on the play. Holding against Permian may be the call, as the flag was thrown in that end of the field.
I'm not sure what the call is going to be here. Let's see. Yes, it is holding against Permian. Boy, is that a costly penalty down here on the goal line.
And there you see the flag coming in. So it'll still be third and goal, but the Panthers will be pushed back plenty. Pushed back 10, which will make it third and 13.
That's a tough penalty to get down here on the goal line. Holding call right out there on the end, right at the point of attack.
So it is third and goal from the 13-yard line for Permian. Coming down on the 9-minute mark. Lloyd Hill goes to the right. Back split behind Mike Winchell. Winchell looks to throw. Looking for Hill. Puts it in the air, and it's out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, Lloyd Hill threw that one the only place he could, out of bounds, because Hill was double covered, and they were covering him like a glove down there. He had no place else to go with it.
The Panthers are going to try a field goal as Alan Wiles comes in once again.
Alan Wiles, the barefooted one, and that foot has got to be cold.
Wiles will set the mark down, set the tee down at the 20-yard line for a 30-yard attempt. Stan Wilkins to hold. Permian trying to go for the lead. Snap back, ball down. The kick is up, and it is through the uprights. Alan Wiles has given Permian the lead.
Woo-wee. Woo-wee, woo-wee, woo-wee. What a big ball game we've got going. 9-7 lead now for Odessa Permian. Let's watch it one more time around. He gets the kick off. Carter had lots of penetration up through the middle. And there was officials conferring out on the field there after that kick. But they're going to come up here and mark it. Big field goal for Odessa Permian. That makes it 9-7 as we're rocking along at a 2-point ball game now with the Permian Panthers out in front, and that certainly did bring the crowd to their feet on both sides of the stadium. I don't think anyone's sitting down around here.
So the blocked punt by Steve Womack leads to 3 points for Permian on the Alan Wiles 30-yard field goal. As the drive started from the 17-yard line, the penalty, of course, pushing Permian back after they had it down to the 3. But then the Alan Wiles field goal, a 30-yarder, puts Permian up 9-7.
Davila is going to do the kicking honors this time. I'm not sure whether that means they're kicking away or they're kicking it on the ground or what, but it's going to be Mr. Davila doing whatever it is they're doing.
Usually means they'll try to kick it deep and pin the Cowboys back, but we'll find out. Felipe Davila has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line as he comes up to the football on what looks like a sheet of ice and kicks it end over end, taken at the 18-yard line. The Cowboys coming back with the football. And that was Brian Mitchell who got the ball and takes it up across the 30. Felipe Davila brought him down after doing the kicking. And the Cowboys fairly good field position starting from their own 35 or make it the 34-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, that field is wet as it can get out there right now. But as I stated earlier, on AstroTurf, that doesn't necessarily mean poor footing, and no one is having problems standing up. They are having problems throwing the football because it is wet.
1st and 10, Carter, from their own 34-yard line. Receivers wide right, wide left. Robert Hall looks to throw, now to run, and he'll be brought down. Short pickup by Hall. Felipe Davila, Brian Johnson stayed at home along with Ivory Christian to bring him down.
That was a designed quarterback draw play. He had no intention of throwing this ball. Watch him. He never even attempts to throw it. He just steps back and then tries to step up. But the people in the middle stayed at home and took care of their duties, dropping him after about a 3-yard gain.
We'll call it 2nd and 6. The ball to the 38 with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. The Cowboys up to the line of scrimmage, sending Marcus Grant split right. Now Grant comes back in motion. On the reverse, the ball to Harvey Harper, who is hit hard.
Whoa. Boy, was that an ill-advised reverse that time. The man coming this way had some running room. The man going the other way had nothing. Watch this. The man coming this way has got some outside position, but the man going back is in lots of trouble in a hurry. That's what you call and friends.
And
lots
friends,
of
you're right. The Permian defense teaming together to make that hit. No pickup, no gain. 3rd and 6 from the 38. Mitchell to the right. Grant to the left. Hall looks to throw up the middle. Completed and dropped. Incomplete. He would have had a first down. Dietrich Clark had the ball and couldn't hang on to it.
Robert Brown strips this ball out of his hands. Watch this. He throws the ball, and he's got it right there. And then Robert Brown comes in, and he strips his arms down, can't let him hang on to the football. Great job of defense. Brings up a 4th and punting situation.
Harold Jones has the ball skipped to him along the turf, but he gets it away. End over end kick will bounce to the 40, taken by Wilkins at the 30, back to the 35, where he's hit hard. Good defensive play that time by the Cowboys' Clifton Abraham, as he was downfield very quickly to get Stan Wilkins.
Punter was a little bit nervous that time as he wanted to get rid of the football in a hurry after the last one was blocked, and it skips along the ground right to Wilkins, who takes the ball and runs right straight ahead, picks up everything he can, but gets hit hard right there. Maybe a little bit of a late hit coming in.
1st and 10 Permian from their own 37 with 7 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Chavez in motion, up the middle to Don Billingsley to the 45-yard line. Clifton Abraham in on the stop. They'll spot it.
Permian offensive line doing a great job of blocking here. Watch this. There's some real drive-out blocks. The big block that time was Jared McDougal as he drove his man back to the inside and opened up that hole.
They'll spot the ball at the 44. A 7-yard pickup by Billingsley. It's 2nd and 3. Robert Brown goes in motion. The pitch comes back to Billingsley again, but he is brought down from behind. Great defensive play by the Cowboys. And the man that led the way in the middle was Jeffrey McLinnis.
Tell you what, this time is great play this time as they get great penetration. Nobody gets a seal block on the man behind that came in behind the pulling guard. Got to seal that man off in there as quick as the Carter linemen are.
2-yard loss on the play will make it 3rd and 5. Permian back to their own 42-yard line. Under the 6-minute mark left in the 3rd. Up to the line of scrimmage, it's Lloyd Hill, who's wide to the left side. Brown split on the right. Pitch comes back to Chris Comer, needs a block, gets one block, but can't get two, and Permian will be stopped short of a first down. So the Carter defense does their job and holds the Panthers, and Permian will be forced to punt.
Don Billingsley tries to get the block on the outside man, but he doesn't quite get in front of him, and that is what broke the play down. If it hadn't been for that, he might have made the first down. Difficult to punt, especially difficult to snap the ball deep at this point.
Every punt becomes an adventure. Travis West gets a nice snap and gets to kick away. End over end, taking it to 28-yard line, fumble on a play. It's out of bounds, and Carter will keep it.
Boy, I tell you what, the kicking game is becoming, as you say, Kurt, a real adventure. The snap's an adventure, the kick's an adventure, the receiving is an adventure. He fumbles the football right there. Two or three Permian players almost had a chance at it, but the ball gets out of bounds, and that's a lucky break for Carter on that one. They dodged a bullet that time.
Carter will start from their own 27-yard line with 5:03 left in the third quarter. Robert Hall has two receivers to the left side. Hall back to throw. Pressured. Hall hit, sacked at the 15-yard line by Billy Steen.
Big bad Billy. Billy Steen does a great job this time of really fighting through a block. I mean, he is really hit at the line of scrimmage, but he slides around that block, fights through, grabs the quarterback, and puts him on the turf.
An 11-yard loss on the play will make it 2nd and 21. Carter pushed back now to their 18-yard line.
Kurt, I've watched high school football and done broadcasts on high school football for 30 years, and this has got to be the greatest defensive struggle that I've ever had the pleasure of doing.
It was a 9-yard loss, so it's 2nd and 19 from the 18. Coming down on the 4-minute mark. Hall with running room, but the whistles will blow and call the play dead before it really got away.
I think he ran out of time.
He did. It's a delay of game against the Cowboys.
5-yard penalty, and that really hurts because that backs them up all the way back to about the 12, 13-yard line. Now it's up to the Permian defense to continue to keep the pressure on and keep them contained, because if they can, they should be in excellent field position after whatever punt comes off here.
Under the 4-minute mark, Deidre Clark comes to the left. Marcus Grant goes to the right. 2nd and 24. Hall to throw on the delay, hands it off, and that was Gary Edwards.
I requested Chad Payne in there to make the tackle that time. A lot of people might criticize this, but this is really a great call down here because everybody's got an all-out pass rush going, and he almost breaks it through for real big yardage. He picked up nice yardage, but he could have broken that one for a long, long gainer.
Picked up 9 yards on the play to bring up 3rd and 15. Edwards will go wide. No, Edwards will go out. Okay. Well, there's a receiver wide to the right side, which is Brian Mitchell. Hall looks back to throw. Hall lets go of it, and it is incomplete. Pass intended for Deidre Clark.
And was Hall ever racked up by Billy Steen? Billy Steen really hits him. Watch this. It's not Steen, it's Davila. Felipe Davila just plants his headgear in his chest. There, whew, what a hit. That's one that'll make you think about it tomorrow. I'll guarantee you that. He'll remember that one for a day or so.
Another adventure. It's the kick. 3:07 to go. Harold Jones gets the snap and the kick away. High end over end. Not very long. Will bounce at the 45 and now go taking a Carter roll to midfield. But Permian still with good field position. They'll start it from their own 49-yard line. With a timeout on the field, 2:53 to go in the third. Permian leading Carter 9-7. We'll have more third quarter action for you in just a moment.
2 minutes, 53 seconds left to go here at Austin Memorial Stadium in the third quarter of action. Kurt?
Mike Winchell has his team 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Full house backfield. As Winchell keeps it, Winchell will be hit and downed.
What happened that time? Winchell bobbled the football, and there is going to be a call there at the end of the play, and I'm not sure about by whom or against whom. Personal foul against Carter. Personal foul against Carter. Winchell bobbles the ball here. Watch. He almost dropped it, and then he bobbles it. He goes down, and then there is a late hit there.
That was Derek Evans that made the big defensive play, number 80, that you saw surrounding Mike Winchell. But the penalty against Carter, a very, very costly one. Instead of having Permian 5 yards deeper in 2nd and 15, the Panthers have a first down in Cowboy territory. It'll be 1st and 10 Permian at the Carter 42. Lloyd Hill comes to the left. Robert Brown is tied on the right. Brian Chavez goes in motion as Winchell gets the snap and hands it off to Chris Comer, who will take it to the 40-yard line. A quick pickup of maybe 2 yards. The middle of the Carter defensive line making the stop on Chris Comer.
Permian using a full house backfield, lining Chavez up in the backfield to try to get some extra blocking out there at the point of the attack as they're trying to get that ball up inside, just inside the end and run in that slot.
A 1-yard gain will make it 2nd and 9. Ball at around the 40-yard line. Coming down on the 2-minute mark. Permian handing it off again, this time to Don Billingsley. Billingsley, a quick pickup, and the Panthers keep it on the ground.
That's the second of the same series of plays. The first time they ran off that way, that was the counter coming back on the inside for little or no pickup on the play.
Derek Cherry making the hit as Robert Brown brings a new play in from the sidelines. 1:35 and counting down left in the third quarter. Permian hanging on to a 2-point lead, 9-7. 3rd and 7. Winchell incomplete. Pass intended for Lloyd Hill.
A little overthrown that time. Lloyd Hill did manage to get his hand up, but he couldn't quite corral the football as it was thrown a little high. Boy, it's tough to throw the football out here in this kind of weather, as the rain continues to pick up a little more steam all the time. It is soaking wet, but there's no one leaving the stands.
Travis West back to punt at around midfield.
Here we go again.
1:23 to go in the third. Low snap, skidded to West. West gets it away. Good job, Travis West, inside the 10-yard line. The ball will now go into the end zone, and Carter will have it at the 20.
Whoa.
Travis West picked it up on a bounce and did a great job to get a nice kick away.
Well, I tell you what, the punting game or the kicking game at this point, which is a crucial part of any football game, is really becoming an adventure because the ball is hard to snap, it's hard to catch, it's hard to kick. And I'll tell you, about right now, the football, when it leaves the kicker's foot, feels like it weighs about 40 pounds.
1:16 to go in the third, and the Permian defense asking the crowd to give them their support, which the Panther fans readily agree to. Robert Hall, 1st and 10 from the 20, keeps it on the ground to Harvey Harper. Harper a quick gain as Felipe Davila brought him down.
Billy Steen also in there on the shot or on the tackle, and you can look across the field and see the rain coming down now as it's beginning to rain hard and heavy here.
2-yard pickup for Harper. 2nd and 8 from the 22-yard line. Carter just 14 yards on the ground in the first half. Trying to offset the Permian defense by keeping it on the ground a little bit now. Hall looks to throw. Hall chased by Steve Womack, pushed out of bounds.
Picked up about 3 yards on the carry that time as he goes out of bounds on about the 25-yard line. 35 seconds left to go in the third quarter of action. Hall looking downfield for someone to throw it to, can't see anyone. Tries to get outside of Steve Womack, but Womack gets him crowded to the sideline and shoves him out.
It'll be 3rd and 4 for the Cowboys from their own 26-yard line. There's 35 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and you can hear the Permian crowd. The Cowboys keep it on the ground. Marcus Grant trying to get it outside. Grant across the 30-yard line will have a first down. Brian Johnson brought him to the turf, but not before Marcus Grant ran a long way laterally, but ran enough upfield to pick up a first down.
Good defense by Permian this time as they do string it out. Almost got trapped back to the inside, and some great blocking out there on the corner by Carter as they move it up for a first down yardage, move it out to the 31-yard line.
The final stages of the third quarter. As Carter has it 1st and 10 from their own 31. I formation behind Hall. He flips it back to Grant. Grant will make good yardage of about 5. He takes it to the 35-yard line. Cotty Dean brought him down, and that will be the final play of the third quarter as Felipe Davila comes up limping. Felipe Davila comes up limping, and trainer Tim Trapper O'Connell
in his shorts,
his good luck shorts, will check on Felipe Davila. The third quarter of play has ended from Memorial Stadium in Austin. The Panthers, with an Alan Wiles field goal, take the lead in the ball game after 3 complete. Permian has the lead as we check out that play one more time and see if we can see where Felipe Davila got hurt on the play. Felipe number 64, as he will go down after the play, really, and someone must have fallen on his foot as he came up limping. After 3 complete, Permian leads Carter 9-0. Felipe Davila starts the fourth quarter on the bench. Carter starts at 2nd and 6. Ivory Christian making a hit.
And a big flag comes down right at the end of the play there, Kurt. That one went straight up.
Carter saying it's against Permian, and it is.
And that's got to be an unnecessary roughness penalty, I think, or a face mask. Stepping off 15 big ones against Permian, moves the ball down inside Permian territory all the way down to the 47-yard line. There's Felipe Davila on the sideline there as they're looking at his ankle, I believe it is. Yes, they're going to do a new tape job on his ankle now.
So Trapper O'Connell working on Felipe Davila as his teammates stay out there on defense. 1st and 10. Carter has it at the Permian 48. Robert Hall looks to throw up the middle, and it is incomplete. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Marcus Grant, as a flag will come in.
A late flag came in, and I'm not sure what that one's for.
And Grant may have caught the ball. Dallas Carter saying the call will go against Permian.
2 big penalties in a row really hurt the Permian Panthers here. They're going to tack this one on at the end of the play. And it's a holding penalty against Permian. It's declined, pardon me. And he did catch the ball.
Okay, he did catch it. I thought that it fell out, but we'll check it again.
Was watching it here at the end of the play. As he goes up and gets the ball and
he did not catch that ball.
That was a dropped football. Whoa, whoa. That was a dropped football. No question about it. Bad call.
1st and 10, Carter at the 27-yard line. Hall back to throw. Hall up the middle. It is incomplete. We'll see if we can see it
one more time. One more time, let's take a look at this. But if there's no doubt about it, look at it. He's got the ball in his hands right here, but as he comes down, he never controls it. The ball comes loose, and right there is bouncing off the turf. That's as clear as you can get it. He did not catch the football.
But the official said he did.
So he did.
2nd and 10, Carter at the 27-yard line. Robert Hall fakes it, keeps it. Hall pressured, gets it away, completed. The Cowboys will take it into the end zone as David Jones catches the touchdown pass from Robert Hall. Hall to Jones.
Big play here. Watch this. He escapes right there with his life. has more pressure coming, dumps the ball off to his release man, and he has a good block downfield from the wide receiver on Stan Wilkins and just simply walks into the end zone with it.
So Carter has retaken the lead. At 13-9, they'll try to tack on the extra point, and that extra point is good. With 11 minutes and 1 second left in the ball game, the Cowboys have the lead over the Permian Panthers along with Don Scott, and we have 11 minutes and 1 second left in this semifinal thriller, with the Panthers having surrendered the lead to Carter, now trailing 14-9.
Lots of time left, of course, in the ball game. 11 minutes still to go in the fourth quarter of action here. But the Permian offense is going to have to find a way to solve some of the problems and drive the football.
The ball teed up at the 40-yard line. It'll be Harold Jones to kick it away. Back deep to receive, Adrian Villa and Robert Brown. Whether the ball will get that far is anyone's guess. With the bad weather, you're never quite sure where the ball will end up. Long kick will be taken, and that is Joe Gibson, who is hit as he takes it across the 30. Joe Gibson making a nice play to catch that ball and take it on the run, but then he paid for it as he came across the 30-yard line.
That's right. He gave great field position to the Permian Panthers. They're all the way out to the 32-yard line. 33-yard line is where they're going to mark the ball down.
So Permian starts from their own 33 with 10 minutes and 56 seconds to go in the game. Mike Winchell has Lloyd Hill to the left, Robert Brown to the right. Winchell gives it back to Don Billingsley. Billingsley takes it to the 35-yard line before he's brought down.
Pickup of about 2 on the play as they continue to hammer away at that Dallas Carter defense. But Dallas Carter so far has really proven up to the task of holding the Permian running backs down. Comer's got some good yardage in the ball game. Billingsley good yardage, but it has not been resulting in but 1 touchdown so far today.
Nathaniel Savage grabbing a hold of Billingsley to bring him down. 2nd and 8 from the 35-yard line up the middle to Chris Comer. Comer picks up 3 more. So it'll be 3rd and 5 facing Permian. The clock will continue to move with 10 minutes left. Permian has it out to the 38-yard line, their own 38.
Boy, this one's worth the price of admission, I'll guarantee you that.
Lloyd Hill left. Robert Brown split right. 3rd and 5 for Permian. Winchell back to Chris Comer. Comer will have the first down.
Oh, I don't know. Where he marked it, it's real close. Let's see. No, he marked it. It is a first, yes. Marked it just outside the 43-yard line.
Don, as Comer came outside, it looked like Carter had stopped him, but he made a nice individual effort to get away from the one potential tackler right there, Gary Edwards, who could have stopped him.
Did a great job of running that time and a great job of blocking on the Permian line.
First and 10 Permian from their own 44-yard line. Comer takes it to the 46.
Just straight power football that time, right straight ahead. Let's run at them, they say. And at this point, in this kind of weather, that's probably the best adage that you could have.
The clock is under the 9-minute mark now, as the Permian band strikes up their song, trying to rev up this crowd. 2nd and 8 from the Panthers' own 46. Winchell gets the ball back to Comer. Comer will take it to the 48 before he's pushed back. So again, it'll be about a 3rd and 5 facing the Panther offense.
Hammer, hammer, hammer. It's hard-nosed football right now. Billingsley got a decent block on the corner and a little help, but there were a lot of people coming. The man was able to slow him down just long enough to get some help up there.
The ball is to the 48-yard line. Permian has 3rd and 6 and with 8 minutes to go in the game. Permian trailing 14-9. Winchell to Comer. Comer will be stopped short as Jesse Armstead brought him down.
Jesse Armstead once again making a great tackle there as he just refused to be blocked. He fought in behind the block and came in and made that tackle. Watch him. He's the outside linebacker over on that side, and he comes up through behind the guard. Nobody hit him, and he got him down on the turf. Brings up a 4th down in a definite punting situation, and excitement time again.
Travis West will get the kick away from around his own.
Being laid on people.
There's a snap, a good one. West gets the kick away. High kick. Bounce at the 30, take a Permian bounce, and be downed at the 24-yard line. So that's where Carter will start from their own 24-yard line.
Critical defensive series for the Permian Panthers right now. They need 3 downs and out. Carter, of course, I'm sure is going to try to drive the ball. That's drive the ball, but right now, Permian defense really needs to come up with a big defensive series.
There's 7 minutes and 8 seconds left in this game. Permian trailing 14-9. Carter will keep it on the ground to Harvey Harper. Harper a short pickup as Billy Steen and Felipe Davila, who is back in there, make the stop. Felipe getting up limping, as you can see, but he does stay in the ball game.
Okay, here we go one more time around.
Ball is to the 27-yard line, where it's 2nd and about 8. 6.5 minutes to go. Robert Hall, handoff as Carter keeps it on the ground, this time to David Jones. Greg Sweat making the tackle. Jones scoring the go-ahead touchdown for Carter. Now sets up a 3rd and short for his Cowboy team.
Great job of blocking by the Carter. That line that time as they drove it in there. 6 minutes and 12 seconds. 9 points for Permian, 14 for Carter. As it's a 3rd down and a critical 3rd down for the Permian defense. Critical 3rd down for the Carter offense.
Robert Hall has his team 3rd and 3 on the ground. Permian stops him. The big hit by Sweet Pea, Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson really lays some leather on him this time. Watch him as he comes tearing in here and really hits him right there. And coming down the line was his teammate Steve Womack to help him finish it off. So we're back to adventure time.
Harold Jones will drop back to kick from around his own 20-yard line. Flags will come in. And it'll go against Carter.
5-yard penalty. The lineman came up and moved his hand, picked it up, and the Permian player moved immediately.
So it's 4th and 10. The ball pushed back to the 25-yard line. Permian should get pretty good field position out of this kick. There's a snap, bounced along the ground. Jones gets it away. It'll be taken by Wilkins. He fumbles, falls on it at midfield. So Wilkins did the right thing. When he could not come up with it cleanly, he just fell on it to make sure that Permian kept possession.
As I said, every punt is an adventure here because it is hard to hold on to a punted football with it raining like it is. It's as wet as it can be out there. And while they're changing balls every play, Kurt, the balls that are on the sideline at this point are even wet.
It's 1st and 10 Permian at the 50-yard line. 50 big yards away from taking the lead back. Winchell to Comer up the middle for a pickup of 1. Permian keeping it on the ground as they did the entire series the last time. Passing-wise, it has not been a successful day for Permian. First half totals had Mike Winchell completing just 2 of 16 passes with 1 interception. So the Panthers have kept it on the ground the majority of the second half. 2nd and 9 from the 49. Winchell with a full house backfield looks to throw to Robert Brown. It's incomplete. No, instead the intended receiver was Lloyd Hill. Incomplete, so the clock will stop with 4:37 to go in the game. And Permian faced with a 3rd and 9 in front of them. You see the play again with the pass thrown away from Lloyd Hill.
When your passing attack's not working very well, this is a very, very difficult call to make from the sideline. Coach Gary Gaines got the play in. Permian's ready to run it, but it's a long ways to go.
3rd and 9 from the 49. Winchell fakes the handoff, looks to throw for Hill. Down the middle. It is incomplete. Batted away. Flag will fly. Pass interference against Carter.
And in high school football, that's an automatic first down and a 15-yard penalty. It's not at the point of the foul as it is in collegiate or in pro football. It is a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. So Permian will keep the drive alive. They'll have the ball on about the 35, 36-yard line. No, it'll be about 33-yard line in Carter territory.
Carter coach is not happy with it as you see them 10 yards onto the field on the far side. The official goes over to talk with them. 1st and 10 Permian. There's the call against the Cowboys. And Permian will have it at the 34-yard line.
And the Carter coach is still out on the field.
There's 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the game. Permian trailing 14-9. They just now moved the first down chains, which is the reason for the delay. Permian lines up with 2 receivers to the left, Hill and Brown. Backs are offset to the left behind Mike Winchell. Winchell gives the ball back to Chris Comer. Comer will be brought down by Jesse Armstead.
Jesse Armstead all over the football field, a great football player and doing a great job for the Carter Cowboys this afternoon. As he's out here very quickly to make the tackle, and he hits hard with authority.
No gain on the play. The ball remains at the 34, where it'll be 2nd and 10. The clock runs. There is less than 4 minutes to go in the game. Hill and Brown to the right side. Mike Winchell hands it off on the delay to Chris Comer. A quick pop inside the 35 for 3 yards. It looked like he had a big hole developing in front of him, but it quickly closed as the Cowboys came in quickly.
Well, it's a little draw play, and same man, Mr. Armstead, there to shut that down also.
A 2-yard gain on the play. It'll be 3rd and 8 for Permian. 3:28 and counting down. Permian trailing 14-9.
And they desperately need to complete a pass here to loosen up that Carter defense. They're stacked all at the line of scrimmage.
Winchell drops deep. Winchell looking for time, can't find it. Hit back at the 40-yard line. Clifton Abraham brought him down. A big loss on the play, and Permian will be forced to punt on 4th down.
And with 3 minutes and 2 seconds, 3 minutes now and counting down in the ball game, this is a critical time. The Permian Panthers, if they want to remain in the playoffs, have got to come up with a big play, and they've got to do it in a short order.
Travis West will get the kick away from midfield. 2:40 and counting. Low snap, but West gets it and gets the kick away. Fair catch called for and taken by Carter at the 12-yard line. The Cowboys will have the football at the 13-yard line. Is where they spot it. with 2.5 minutes to go in the game, leading 14-9.
And the stats really don't mean a whole lot at this point, except the one that's on the scoreboard, because with a 5-point difference, it's not likely we're going to end up with any kind of a tie. There's a timeout by the officials on the side, on the field, as they want to give penetration information and etc. to both sides.
Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. As you see, head coach Gary Gaines on the Panthers side of the field, and the officials conferring right now. The Panthers trailed 7-6 at halftime. An Alan Wiles field goal in the third quarter, a 30-yarder, gave Permian a lead at 9-7. But then it was the Carter Cowboys that came from behind with a touchdown throw to David Jones from Robert Hall, and Carter took the lead at 14-9 in the fourth quarter, and that's where we stand right now.
This is a little ritual that goes on in playoff games only. The officials are calling both coaches out to the center of the field, explaining to them what the penetrations are, what the first downs are, what the stats are, and etc., and where we go from here.
So we have a timeout with 2.5 minutes left in the ball game. 2.5 minutes left in the season for the Permian Panthers, unless they can come from behind and can come up with a victory in this rainy semifinal game at Austin's Memorial Stadium.
Rainy is a key word here, because the rain has certainly had a definite impact on this football game. Neither team has been able to throw the ball very well in the ball game, simply because it's very wet out there.
The Cowboys up to the line of scrimmage, and the Permian crowd urging on their defense who need a big effort right here. 1st and 10 Cowboys from their own 13-yard line. Full house backfield behind Robert Hall. Hall pitches it back to Marcus Grant. Grant brought down with a big tackle by Ivory Christian. That clock will continue to move.
Greg Sweat also in there on that hit that time, as Greg Sweat knifed through behind the lead blocker and did a great job of forcing the play. And Stan Wilkins also in there.
No gain on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Ball remaining at the 13-yard line, under the 2-minute mark. Permian will let the Cowboys run one more play before they start using their timeouts. Wide right side, it's Greg Hill. Receiver to the left. Hall flips it back to Edwards, who is hit and down. No gain. Brian Johnson made the stop. 1:35. The clock is still running. And Permian calls time.
Permian coaches were calling timeout long before the Permian team called it. Cost them about 8 or 9 seconds there. Hope that's not costly to them later in the ball game. Their big job now, though, they've got to stop this Carter offense on a big 3rd down and 10 play. And a stop is absolutely necessary. A stop, try for a block punt, try for a good return, something here, because they've got to do something to move the football down the field.
3rd and 12 facing the Cowboys when we get back to action after a 2-yard loss on that last play. And Carter from the 11-yard line. So Permian could get pretty good field position if they can keep the Cowboys pinned up where they are right now and force the Cowboys to punt out of their own end zone. It's been quite a day that Permian fans remember for a long, long time. The 1988 semifinal matchup with the Carter Cowboys. And those Permian fans, those loyal Permian fans that have made the long trip to Austin in all kinds of weather and have watched the game in very uncomfortable conditions, are sticking around to see the conclusion of this one.
I don't think anybody's left the stadium at this point. Few people.
Third and 11 for Carter. The ball is on the 12-yard line. 1:32 to go in the game. Gary Edwards coming in late. Getting in the I formation behind Jones. Robert Hall. Back to throw, and it's completed. Down at the 16-yard line, well short of a first down, and Permian calls time. So it'll be 4th down for the Cowboys. They did get the ball out to the 17-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That leaves one timeout for Permian after they receive this punt. It's going to be, it's critical time. What else can you say?
1:25 to go in the game, as you see the scoreboard at Memorial Stadium. And the Panthers will send Lloyd Hill back, probably in single return, as they'll try to put a rush on the punter, Harold Jones. The Panthers have already blocked one kick. Steve Womack doing that in the 3rd quarter, which set up the Panther field goal by Alan Wiles.
Lloyd Hill all the way back on his own 40-yard line. Now he's retreating to about the 35-yard line, coming back to the 40, moving around. But he's a long ways back there, and Carter knows that this is a critical play for them. They've got to get this punt off, and they've got to get it off right now.
Lloyd Hill waits. Harold Jones to get the kick away from around his own 5-yard line. There's the snap. It's a good one. He gets the kick away. Lloyd Hill will take it at the 40-yard line. Hill to the 45, stops short of midfield, and Permian will start from their own 48-yard line.
48-yard line, 1:15 left on the clock, and the clock will start as soon as the chains are set here. And it's, boy, I tell you what, this is what you call coming down to the wire for both ball clubs.
First and 10 Permian from their own 48-yard line. Robert Brown to the right, Lloyd Hill left. Mike Winchell looks to throw, completes it to Hill. Hill will go out of bounds. Hill picks up a quick 4, maybe 5 yards. We'll see where they spot it. The main thing is the clock stops with 1:11.
Picked up about 4 yards on the play that time, and got out of bounds, saved the one remaining timeout.
Panthers quickly up to the line of scrimmage with Robert Brown going to the right, Hill again to the left. 2nd and 6 for Permian. Mike Winchell gets it back to Chris Comer. Comer has a first down, brought down with the face mask, but they don't call it.
We'll have to take a look at this on the replay very quickly here as Chris Comer comes out this way, gets a great block on the corner there by Don Billingsley. And yes, it is. Well, no, he slid his hand over his face mask, but did not grab it.
Coming down on the 1-minute mark. 1st and 10 Permian at the 41. Winchell to throw, completes it to Hill. Hill will go out of bounds inside the 35 to the 32-yard line.
Going to leave him about a yard short of another first down. But remember that Permian's got to have 6 in the end zone. Nothing else will help at this point because we are simply talking about 5-point deficit. 3 don't help.
2nd and 1. You do very good in math.
Officials want to measure this when they say he may have gotten the first down, coming all the way across the field. We'll give the Permian offense time to huddle up again.
They'll stretch out the chains and see just how far Permian is away from a first down.
I cannot tell. They're right on the sidelines, and there's lots of folks there looking on. About a foot short, it looks like. First down is not as critical right now as the time on the clock, which is down to 56 seconds. Still time to score, still time to move the football the 31 yards that they need, 32 yards that they need. 32 would give them 6 points, and that's a bunch.
And now Carter has called a timeout. As Permian huddled up, the Carter defense calling a timeout, so the Cowboys have 2 timeouts remaining. Permian has the 1 timeout remaining. They started from their own 48-yard line. Permian has moved it to the 32-yard line.
And I'm sure the Carter coaches wanted to talk to the players about stopping that little quick out pattern that Winchell and Lloyd Hill have connected on twice here, and which has been one of their favorite patterns all year long.
You see the coaches talking with their teams. The red of Carter, the black and white of Permian. The Panthers around head coach Gary Gaines. And the cry of Mojo goes up from the stands. Second and less than a yard for Permian.
And 56 seconds to cover 32 yards.
Robert Brown goes right. Lloyd Hill comes left. Winchell ready to get the ball back from Clint Duncan. Winchell to throw, pumps once, airs it out, looking for Lloyd Hill. It's out of bounds and incomplete.
The official was reaching for his flag that time until he saw that Lloyd Hill was already out of bounds because he was shoved pretty good. But he was already standing out of bounds, and so he didn't throw the thing, but he sure did reach for that pocket. And of course, that was just the bump and go pattern that he ran the little hitch like he's been running and then went down the field, but Carter was ready for that. Third down and a critical 1 yard they've got to pick up here.
There's 4 seconds that ticked off the clock, 52 seconds to go as Chris Comer picks up the first down inside the 30-yard line. The clock will stop and they move the chains ahead. Permian will go with no huddle. No, they will quickly huddle. They'll move the chains ahead and then start the clock. First down Permian. They're at the Carter 28-yard line. The Panthers come up to the line of scrimmage as the clock is now started. Winchell gets the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to throw across the middle to Chavez, incomplete.
Broke up by Armstead. Great play that time by Robert Armstead. He did a great job, or Jesse Armstead, pardon me. Oh, great job that time. Jesse Armstead got his hand out and just flipped that away from Chavez, who is the not the normally used receiver, but he was coming down the field and he was open.
Second and 10 Permian. They're at the 28-yard line. There's 38 seconds to go in the game. Permian trails 14-9. Hill left, Brown right. Winchell up the middle to Comer. Comer a quick pickup down to the 26-yard line, and Permian will be forced to use their final timeout.
30 seconds exactly left to play in this semifinal game in Texas 5A high school football, and boy, has this been a game.
So Permian calls time, and when they get back onto the field, it'll be 3rd and 7 in front of them.
But the worst thing is there's only 30 seconds left and about 21 or 2 yards, or 26 yards, I mean, to cover to take a lead in this ball game.
Permian took the early lead in the game. Well, it wasn't real early, but at least it was the first score in the game, which happened in the second quarter when the Panthers put it into the end zone on a Chris Comer 31-yard touchdown run. Extra point was missed. It was 6-0 Permian. Carter came right back to score on their next offensive series. It was 7-6 at halftime. And Alan Wiles' field goal gave Permian the lead at 9-7. Carter came back on a touchdown pass to David Jones to take the lead, 14-9. That's where we are right now. 3rd and 7. 30 seconds to go in this thriller from Memorial Stadium in Austin. Winchell gets the snap on the reverse. We've got flags coming down as Lloyd Hill has the ball inside the 20, inside the 10 to the 10-yard line. It looked like that play happened in slow motion, and a flag will be going against Permian.
It's a holding call against Permian, and that's going to bring it all back, and it took 8 seconds off the clock.
On the reverse, Lloyd Hill got the ball, but it will not count, as the flag was already on the field. Holding against Permian. And that penalty will take the ball back to the 35-yard line.
And Carter calls timeout now.
Permian needs to get to the 18-yard line for a first down. They need to get to the end zone for a victory.
And they have 22 seconds to do it.
So again, the teams retreat to the sidelines. Gary Gaines talking with Mike Winchell, Robert Brown, and Lloyd Hill.
Whatever he's saying to Mike Winchell's saying, yes, sir, I can do that, sir. Yes, sir, I can do it. Now he's got to do it.
Permian, one of the final 4 teams in the state of Texas, and they will need another dose of mojo magic to continue their season and make it to the final 2.
This ball game already over 3 hours old, Kurt, and it is not over yet, but it's got 22 ticks left on the clock.
Permian coming up to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 17. At the Carter 35-yard line. Hill and Brown are both to the left. Winchell on the reverse to Hill. Hill looks to throw, airs it out for Mike Winchell, completed, out of bounds. The clock will stop with 13 seconds to go.
Was completed, and he picks up about 12 or 14 yards, 15 yards on the play, but it still leaves them with a 4th down and about 7, 8, 6, whatever.
They'll spot the ball at the 24-yard line, so it'll be 4th and 6. There's 13 seconds left in the game, and Carter has called another timeout. The Cowboys used their final timeout. Neither team has any timeouts remaining.
And there's 13 seconds left.
And it's been the longest minute 15 I can remember for a long time.
That was Ronnie Beavers down there as he's calling on a little special reserves at this point.
The Panthers had their season ended last year in the semifinals by the eventual state champions, Plano. And the Carter Cowboys are trying to end the Panthers season in the semifinal round again.
Great defensive struggle, great defensive ball clubs, both in red uniforms and in black and white uniforms out here today. Tremendous play by both ball clubs. Kurt, I can't help but keep reflecting back on that pass that was called complete, that was incomplete down at the other end that set up the Carter touchdown, but that's part of the breaks of the game of football.
4th and 6 for Permian from the 24-yard line. Mike Winchell across the middle, incomplete, and the Panthers have been stopped.
10 seconds left. Neither team can stop the clock at this point. It would take a miracle for Permian to pull this one out.
There's 10 seconds left. The pass intended for Robert Brown.
Thrown behind Robert Brown and into double coverage that time, and Robert Brown had no chance at the football.
So the Carter Cowboys, who have won the battles in court and continue to win the battles on the football field, appear headed for a state championship date next week.
And that appears to be against Converse Judson.
There's the snap. And the final seconds tick off the clock at Memorial Stadium. And the 1988 season has come to an end for the Permian Panthers.
Permian Panthers did a great job that time, and Carter crowd out on the field, which they don't really like a whole lot here at Memorial Stadium, but there's a lot of them out there anyway. some officials out there to escort them away from the goalpost, which they wanted to take home with them, I think. Very, very big football game and a very, very important one. Extremely well played ball game by both ball clubs. It's always tough when you lose, and this one certainly is tough for the Permian Panthers.
So the final for Memorial Stadium has the Carter Cowboys defeating the Permian Panthers 14-9. Stay tuned for our post-game report in just one moment as we'll recap back at Memorial Stadium in Austin. Kurt Kaiser along with Don Scott as the 1988 semifinal game between the Permian Panthers and the Dallas Carter Cowboys. Don, will go down as one of the great football games in 5A history. An exceptional game which, from the Permian perspective, is a disappointing game. They lose it 14-9, but two great teams out there today.
Kurt, I have never seen a better played high school football game, and I don't want to criticize anyone because this was an absolutely great played game. The weather conditions were way less than tremendous to play football in, but it's all going to come around, and people are going to be talking about one play for a long time, and that's the play that set up the Carter touchdown that put them out in front 14-9. Permian had taken a 9-7 lead, and let's take a look at it here one more time. You call it for yourself. He throws it downfield. This play the pass is called complete. Now watch right here. He takes the ball, he turns, and he lets go of it, and there it is on the turf. It is absolutely an incomplete pass. There's just no way that can be anything. He never had control of it. It was an incomplete pass. The official, from the viewpoint he had, did not see the ball come loose. He called it complete. That set up the Carter final score, and they win the ball game 14-9. Want to wish the Carter Cowboys, of course, the best of luck as they go in against Converse Judson, I believe it will be, in the state final game next week. Loses a little glory and interest to West Texas fans at this point, though, because there are no teams, of course, from the western half of the state involved in the playoffs.
Let's quickly recap the scoring in this ballgame as Permian would take a 6-0 lead on a Chris Comer 31-yard run. Comer's touchdown coming with 3:29 to go in the first half. The extra point was missed, and Permian had a 6-0 lead, but Carter came back very, very quickly. Their next series would end up in the end zone as they would go on top 7-6 after adding the extra point, and that was the score at halftime. Steve Womack then blocked a punt by Carter in the third quarter. Permian took over at the 17-yard line. The drive would stall. Alan Wiles would be called on for a field goal attempt from the 20-yard line. A 30-yard field goal attempt was good, and Permian took the lead at 9-7. But then the touchdown drive that we just showed you a moment ago, the one play which kept it going, ended up being a touchdown catch, a 27-yarder from Hall to Jones, as Carter scored at the 11:01 to go in the ball game, and they would go up 14-9. That would be the final score as Carter defeats Permian in the 1988 state semifinal game. We'll have more of our post-game wrap-up in a moment. Our Western National Bank offensive and defensive players of the game, and we'll have that right after this word from Western National Bank.
I'm Gary Gaines, head football coach.
Memorial Stadium, Kurt Kaiser and Don Scott. And Don, each week along the season we have named the offensive and defensive players of the night or of the day. And for today, kind of a special tribute to the 88 Panthers.
Right, Kurt. I think this time that the defensive player of the game has got to be the defensive unit because the entire unit played extremely well as a team. There were no standout players. Everyone was a standout player. They all played exceptionally well. So our Western National Bank defensive player of the game, the entire defensive unit.
And the offensive side of the football, Permian came in offensively wondering how they would match up against the Carter defense. They end up with 9 points, but more than that, several yards, and really did a very, very good job against a tough defense. Our Western National Bank offensive player will be the entire offensive unit as well on their fine play in the semifinal game against the Carter Cowboys. We'll be back with a final word to wrap up this 1988. Also brings to a close our coverage on KOSA TV in bringing you the entire regular season and the entire playoff schedule for Permian, and a little earlier on for the Lee Rebels as well in the playoffs. And Don, a lot of people have put a lot of work, a lot of hard hours into providing the football fans of West Texas with a unique view of high school football. And our congratulations to our entire crew. It's been a long year, starting way back in September with our coverage of high school football, ending just 2 weeks before Christmas, but we're very proud of the job that Channel 7 has been able to do this year.
And I want to add a special thanks to a couple of people that are not involved actually in the production of the game, but to our general manager, Vic Luddington, who allowed us to do these games, and to our sales staff, who managed to go out and to sell enough advertising to make it possible to do it without losing our entire shirt. They have all done a great job, and of course the production crew has done a phenomenal job for us this year. All of the production people involved, up and down the line, back at the studio and out here. And even like today, there are those who stayed at home and pulled some double shifts so that a crew could come down to Austin and work. So we want to say thanks to all of those people. And I want to add a little word of extra thanks to all of the coaches. Coaches at Odessa High, the coaches at Permian, the coaches at Midland High, the coaches at Midland Lee. All of them have gone out of their way to be nice to us all year long, and we want to say thanks to them. We'll be looking forward to next year. We are already looking forward to 1989, and for the Permian Panthers, a great year, a year in which they will finish with a record of 12-3, 2 one-point losses, and then the final loss here today to the Carter Cowboys. But it's been a year that Permian can look back to with a lot of pride. Congratulations to head coach Gary Gaines, his entire coaching staff. And again, thanks to them for all their cooperation in providing us with the facts and figures and the accessibility to the Permian football team in allowing us to bring you this playoff coverage in 1988. Again, the final score from Memorial Stadium in Austin has the Carter Cowboys defeating Permian 14-9. For Don Scott and our entire Channel 7 sports crew, I'm Kurt Kaiser. Good night from Austin.
Claiming it today, Permian Panther Day. Coach Gary Gaines at the City Council chambers this morning, along with several of his players. An honor, yet one game short of a state title.
Our Christmas wish for the city of Odessa was a state championship, and we didn't make it. But nonetheless, we're extremely proud of our team and appreciate y'all recognizing us in this way.
And be sure to watch tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. We will have for you that special music salute to the Permian football team. We're still putting the finishing touches on it.
For the area high school football teams.
We've had some good teams, and I know Midland Lee had a great team this year, and Rankin, Monahans.
Midland High won a piece of the district championship.
Lots of good teams.
All of our teams doing very well this year. And, of course, it was another great year for the Permian Panthers. No, they did not win the Class 5A state championship, but they did come within one game of getting there. You know, someone once said, not all the goals and dreams that you have in life come true, but it's the journey you take to try and make them happen that's important. That's what high school football is really all about, and that's why this Permian team will go down with many of the great ones. They took that long journey.